And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And we're going to get into all the topics. Yeah, I know I'm late, but it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. Y'all know how I do. We're talking about Will Smith copycats. We had the rapper known as T.I. go out there and basically do the same exact thing Will Smith did, as I called. I knew it would happen. You have one big popular guy that does something like this. A bunch of lemmings want to follow in his place. Also, Elon Musk has purchased a large percentage of Twitter shares. I think like 9.1%. And he's on the board of directors now. So we'll see how that goes. Is he going to be able to bring back Trump? Is he going to bring up the edit button? Is he going to be able to embolden free speech on the platform? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, Black Lives Matter buying more real estate, big, large mansions, big, long money, okay, blowing lots of money. BLM, what's going on with that? Are they really for the empowerment of black people, or are they for the empowerment of their own personal pocket? We'll get to that in a minute. Also, let's talk about my main man, Lieutenant Governor for North Carolina, Mark Robinson, laying the smackdown a few months back that has gone viral recently. Also, Stacey Abrams, rapper named Gunu. We got a chock full list tonight on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank you for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please blame, not please blame the white man. Please hit the like button. Also, share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. And as always, shout out to the sponsors. You guys is first. Shout out to you guys first. And shout out to all the sponsors. Of course, me, my own personal website, ablmerch.com. I got some new orders in the truck ready to go in and ship. I'll have those to you pretty soon. ablmerch.com. If you're not there yet, if you have not gone there yet, if you've not visited, go ahead and do that. Okay, do yourself a favor. Go ahead and visit ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. For every single video that I produce, I also write an article myself, 100%. And I always link to my sources so nobody can never say that I make things up, that I'm pushing fake news. Never, ever, ever. And it's my website, so they can't really say too much about it. What are they going to say? What are they going to censor my website? Ain't going to happen. Shout out to my web hosts. They always look out for me. They got my best interests, and they never have any problems with them. I put whatever I want to put on there, as long as it ain't nothing crazy or illegal. Again, anthonyblogan.com. Go to the contact page if you want to find my email address, my snail mail address, all that good stuff, and also my social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. All's on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, shout out to patriotpost.us, another great website, a great source of news and information. They've been around for a very long time, right here in the good old Chattanooga, Tennessee. Follow them, patriotpost.us. If you've not, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the website, please do so right now. Again, patriotpost.us. Also, bhedesigns.com. They make the beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. Let me get a little bit more in focus right there so you can see it. So you see it. You see the flags. Boom. And I got those all the way down. I got the two ones that used to be right here. I got those on the wall. So I got 4 flags on the wall in this upper room. But again, you guys go to bhedesigns.com for these beautiful handmade wooden flags, ones that are just like this or one that you custom make for yourself. So that's how we're going to do that. Now, we got a whole lot to get into. And again, I thank y'all for being here. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show. Where do I begin? There's so much to get into. We got to talk about T.I. and that video is doing pretty well, surprisingly enough. BLM real estate, Mark Robinson. I have so much to show you guys. I wasn't here on Saturday. Sorry for not being here on Saturday. I'm gonna try to always make my shows, but I just couldn't. But let's start with Elon. Let's start with Elon. Start right there. Okay, now Elon Musk has purchased about 9.1% of Twitter's shares. And as of the purchase date, that was worth about $2.89 billion, with a B, $2.89 billion. So let's get a little bit of context here so we really understand what's happening. Now, Elon had been talking about Twitter having an issue with free speech, right? They're censoring people because they say certain things that go against the grain. They allow pretty much everything else. If you are liberal in nature, if you have kind of degenerate type content, it's no problem. You could be on the platform and it's all good. But if I post, for example, the Hunter Biden laptop that came from New York Post back in 2020, right during the election, are they going to censor that? Why? Is it because it's stolen? Is it because it violates TOS? No, because it's still on the website right now after the powers that be said it's okay to put it out there. It's not even about that. It's about they censored it to bend to the will of the Democratic Party that did not want that story to hurt Joe Biden during the election. So when somebody says the election was kind of funny, there was some weird stuff going on, the machines and whatnot, that's a whole different thing. How about what the media did as far as manipulating information, not allowing you to post that story? It was a legit story from New York Post. It wasn't like I made a video randomly and I broke the news. It's not like ABL from his house just broke that. You're talking about a real newspaper, been around 220 some years. They broke the story, but you couldn't post it on Twitter. So things like that need to get addressed, right? That is serious censorship that hurts us as people because we're not privy to all the information. We're not able to really know what's going on with the person. So if I'm a regular normie and I'm thinking about who am I going to vote for, is it going to be Joe Biden? Is it going to be Donald Trump? I might want to know about the candidate that I could vote for and his crackhead son, not only beaming up the Scotty, not only hitting the booger sugar, not only that, but also having some alleged corrupt deals going on with Ukraine, possibly Moldova, China, Russia, etc., and then giving a 10% kickback to the so-called big guy, okay? Giving the kickback to Joe Biden so he's able to renovate his house in Delaware, right? Okay, let's talk about that part. See, they want to make it seem like we're attacking Joe Biden's kids. First of all, Joe Biden is as old as dirt. Joe Biden is as old as time itself, okay? Joe Biden was around before daylight savings time, the car, the steam engine, the wheel, fire, all of that. Joe Biden was here before Adam. Okay, he was a whole caveman just playing with rocks. That's Joe Biden. He's old, okay? So his kids are not kids. His kids are my parents' age. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I got gray hair in my beard, so let's please stop. These are fully grown adults that know what they're doing, that knew what they were doing when they did it was wrong. We ain't talking about little kids going around sticking a fork in the outlet in their house and getting shocked. You're talking about grown people making a decision to go over to Ukraine, engaging in shady deals, and then giving a 10% kickback to their daddy. And then their daddy come over there and gets the prosecutor removed. The guy, Victor Shokin, getting him removed. And the reason why he was removed is because he was looking into the company that Hunter was working for that was giving a kickback to Joe. See, that kind of stuff right there is very important. It's not even about messing with kids and attacking them. We're talking about fully grown adults that are engaging in corruption with the then vice president. I should know about that, right? It'd be the same way. Let's say Donald Trump Jr. was in Trump Tower getting a kickback from some Russian company. You would know about that. You knew about Donald Trump Jr. having a meeting with somebody about adoption and stuff like that with no money exchanging hands because why? They spied on them illegally, and they had no problem putting that information out there. You could find that information all day on Twitter, all about Donald Trump Jr., all about this, all about that. So it's like, what's really going on? Okay, so Elon Musk, to get back to him, he's there to try and effect change on the platform. Now, he put out a couple polls. One poll he put out before he actually did the purchase of Twitter shares, and he was saying, does Twitter do a good job of upholding free speech and its principles and the core tenets? And the answer was overwhelmingly no. I think like 70-something% no. Not even the full 30% yes. Twitter, you could find a lot of things on Twitter that normally wouldn't be other places, but overall, the platform is pretty pretty restrictive when it comes to conservative stuff that they don't like, or that the Democratic establishment doesn't like, that DC doesn't like. They get a lot of DC pressure, in my opinion. They probably got a red phone on their desk that's a hotline straight to the Oval Office. And it's not going to be Joe Biden talking at you. It's going to be one of the staffers saying, hey, can we block that story right now? That's what it's going to be. And if you don't do it, then there's going to be some political kickback on your company. That's what's going on. And also you have a lot of the woke warriors that work there, people that really want to, hate conservatives. A lot of those people work there as well. It's not just political pressure. So I can't let them get that kind of that cop out. There's more than that. It's political pressure and their employees that work there that are engaging in foolishness. So Elon's there on the board of directors now. Will he have any power? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if he needs to buy more of the company or if he's able to affect any kind of change by being on the board. See, that was a new revelation. I heard that he bought shares of the company, like 9.1% of shares, but I did not hear about him becoming a member of the board until like today or yesterday. So we'll see what happens. They're talking about an edit button. I think that was already in the works by Twitter, so maybe you'll see that happening. Better with free speech. That's something else we need to have. Maybe they could bring back Trump. And I know Trump has his own social media platform, but to be honest with you, you still need Twitter, because Twitter is the place where everything really happens. Okay, that's really where everything happens. Some of the more offshoot platforms, they're not necessarily competitors because they're clones. You see what I mean? Like, in order for you to compete with Twitter, you have to be different than Twitter. Here's an example of what I mean. So there's a bunch of YouTube clones out there that cannot compete with YouTube. It's like, okay, why would I go to this website that looks the exact same as YouTube when I already have YouTube, and YouTube has more videos, more variety, and I don't understand. Why not just stay on YouTube, right? However, here comes TikTok. Now, TikTok did a social media thing differently than any other platform did. And their whole marketing thing was to come in doing dances. Young kids doing dances and all this and that, dance routines. And they came in with different tools and features that made it different than an Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. So now what happens? Now you got to have YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter try to compete with TikTok by having reels and shorts and things of that nature, because they want to have that same kind of feedback loop that TikTok has to compete with them. You see what I mean? But there would not be a need for that if it was just a clone of YouTube. Why would YouTube compete with a clone of itself when they are the best already? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm not sure that Truth Social can really survive, because it's just kind of like an echo chamber to a certain extent. Now, people will use it. It may have a user base, but ultimately, I think everybody will be better on Twitter. If we're going to talk about a social media platform of that type, I think it'd be better if Trump had a different kind of platform that was not the equivalent to Twitter, and just try to make that work. That'd probably be the best way to go. Okay, it's the same thing when Twitter came out. It was way different. It had elements of other things. It had elements of Yahoo Messenger, AOL, stuff like that. It kind of brought back nostalgic feels. Nothing was around at that time that was anything quite like that. So it was a brand new thing, and it made sense. We need to have more innovation to make a long story less long. We need more innovation rather than just what am I saying? Rather than just copying. That's pretty much what we need. So yeah, shout out to Elon Musk. We're going to see where this whole thing goes. We're going to see if he's able to make any kind of change. Hopefully he's able to, because we most certainly need it. We got to have it. And if we don't have it, that's going to be an issue for sure. 100%. Now, let me go ahead and get to a few more things here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Right now, yeah, MySpace was better, NKM. Facebook took MySpace audience. And I think Facebook took MySpace's audience when it opened up to all people. Because I was on Facebook way back when I was in college. A girl I was with at the time kind of coaxed me into it. And at the time I had a I had an EDU address, so I signed up to it that way. So I was there when it turned over to being open to the public. That's kind of what drew a lot of people in. And then Twitter came around like '08, and that was the final nail in MySpace's coffin. But I think it had been purchased by Rupert Murdoch, MySpace it is, and they made a bunch of changes. They took away a lot of the features. You couldn't edit your website. You couldn't edit your page anymore with HTML. It took away a lot of what made it good. And then they were trying to make it be something else to the point where it was unrecognizable. So people already had problems with MySpace. So then here comes a new platform that was different, that was innovative. So everybody went over there, and that was Facebook and Twitter. And now we have Instagram that came along and shook up the world. And then TikTok was the next one. So you got to be able to innovate. You have to innovate and compete with innovation, not necessarily compete with cloning. I don't think that works. I don't think there's never been a social media platform that computed properly, but just cloning another one. I've not really seen that work. And if I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know in the comments. I was on Black Planet. Yes, I was on Black Planet. Yep. I had a Black Planet. I forgot about Black Planet. That was like the OG. I think that came out before MySpace. But what Black Planet did was, what MySpace did was add all the features by being able to edit your page. Back in those days, like 07, 06, 07, I was getting paid to design MySpace pages with HTML and GIFs and all that kind of stuff. Good old days. Yeah, MySpace was the ultimate. But now with smartphones, I'm not sure that model would really work nowadays, because back in those days, you were on your laptop or your desktop computer looking at your page. But now with your phones, you don't need all the extra flash and pizzazz. You know, that's kind of an old thing. So you have to be able to understand what's going on in the current day and innovate based on that. Like your videos got to be phone friendly, because most people, they're on this. That's their main source of internet. People don't have laptop computers that much anymore, or desktops. People watch YouTube on television or on their phone. It's funny because we went from watching YouTube on a monitor to a very small screen to a very big screen, or a very small screen and a big screen with no intermediary. It's funny how that works, but that's technology. That's just life, and it advances like that. You got to be able to just stay with the times. Always, you got to be able to innovate and advance and just stay with what's happening. Now, what else we got going on? We got quite a few topics on deck. I don't want to get too deep into it. Shout out to Stevenson, Topwater, Virginia. Yes, you already know it. And matter of fact, speaking of Topwater, there was a guy that did the there was a guy that created MySpace, like a MySpace layout website, a free MySpace. I think it was called Free MySpace Layouts or something like that. He was from Suffolk, Virginia. He had a whole server farm in his house. Millionaire at a young age, like 20 something. It was crazy. Okay. So anytime I hear anybody say that it's hard to make it in America, you can't do anything in America, it's like, man, please. It's land of opportunity. Now, if you're living in Somalia or somewhere like that, it's a different story. If you're born poor in Somalia, you might stay poor forever. But in America, no. This is why people fight and die to come over here with nothing on their back. They have a dollar in their pocket, and then they make it into some mega mogul. It's because they had that drive, they had that hustle, they had that motivation to become somebody in a land of plenty, where a lot of us, not you guys are perfect, you guys have your head on straight, but a lot of Americans take this life for granted and don't appreciate it, and they don't really put into it what needs to be put into it. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how that goes. But we got more topics on that. I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling here. So Black Lives Matter has purchased more real estate. Imagine that. Now, I've done quite a few videos on Black Lives Matter and Patrice Cullors and the whole movement. And I've said pretty much from the beginning that it's a whole big scam. It's a grift. It's a way to get money. Point blank, period. I don't even really care if someone has a local BLM chapter and they do good. Okay, that's great. Fantastic. But see, the local chapters that do well, in my humble opinion, are kind of like fronts for the major outlook, the major company, the major group. They're a cover for them not doing good, not doing well, okay? Black Lives Matter is terrible. And it's been that way since the beginning. Ever since 2016 time, with who was that? Like Freddie Gray, all these people, they've been terrible. Black Lives Matter, what they would do back then, and even sometimes now, when a black person dies under mysterious circumstances, you don't know what's happening. It could have been a police shooting. It could have been anything, accidental, whatever. If a black person dies like that, what they do is they go destroy the black neighborhood. How much sense does that make? Explain that to me. Explain how getting justice for black people is achieved through destroying a black neighborhood. I don't understand. And then when I say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be burning that neighborhood up, I'm called all types of racial slurs by a lot of white liberals. It's like, so I'm getting attacked by the white and black liberals who collaborate to destroy a black community for saying, don't destroy the black community. Don't destroy any neighborhoods, but destroying the black community, I don't understand how that even makes any sense. It might make sense to destroy a different place if you have a beef with other people. Although you shouldn't do that, obviously. If you do that, you're going straight to the who's school. So don't do that. But there's no logic in what they're doing. Anyway, I digress. The whole point is Black Lives Matter is a destructive force. They tear down black neighborhoods and they get rewarded by a bunch of 80% white liberals. That's usually what it is. 80% white liberals and 20% black and maybe like the remaining fraction of a percent other. Okay, if you go to a place like Atlanta, Georgia, you're going to see a lot of black folks out there. But if you go to places like Seattle, Salt Lake City, even Chicago, you're going to see mostly white liberals and probably LGBT white liberals. Yep, that's what you're going to see out there, so-called protesting for Black Lives Matter. And they're going to be the same ones who donate to BLM. After George Floyd died, Black Lives Matter raised $10 billion. And when I say Black Lives Matter, I mean Black Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter related organizations, because the main hub of all this money, the main donation hub is BLM GNF. That's Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, right? That's the main hub. That's Patrice Cullors and all these people, okay? The BLMers, the black lesbian Marxists, okay? No hate, I'm just describing them by their acronym a little bit more accurately, right? But anyway, so this is the main hub, BLM GNF. Now, apparently, BLM GNF received $66.5 million in one payment in the month. Okay, just randomly. Here's, $60 million. What are we going to do? We heard about, but they've got more than that. Please don't get that twisted. If BLM totally raised $10 billion with all the places, all the different little offshoot groups combined, I'm sure the main people got more than 66 million. They probably got close to $1 billion in different kind of ways. But anyway, so they get this money and they're able to expand their real estate portfolio with it. Now, when I first covered the story, I was getting some kickback and I was a little bit surprised, but not really, because it wasn't that much kickback, I would say. But it was some kickback. And people were saying, well, hey, ABL, $400,000 for a house in LA, that's nothing. That's typical prices, all this and that. Although that's not even really the point about how much it costs specifically. It's the fact that you're able to buy it in cash, by the way, with BLM donation money. That's the whole point. I don't care if the house was $200,000. $200,000 is not a little bit of money to buy a house in cash. You understand? I could see if you took out a mortgage or something like that, but they're buying these houses in cash money. Okay. So you have, before this most recent house, you had 4 houses worth a total of 3.2 million, right? And here's a picture I want to put up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you guys had 4 houses, pardon me, worth 3.2 million. You had 2 in LA, 1 in Inglewood, 1 somewhere in South LA. They were like $490 and $550 respectively. And then you had a house in Georgia, which is right around the same price as the LA houses. But obviously in Georgia, you get a lot more bang for your buck. In LA, in the city, if you're paying $500,000, you're getting a shoebox with metal bars and bullet holes in your fascia. Okay, you're getting a free bulletproof vest, and some bullet resistant glass. Hopefully the glass don't fail so you don't get shot watching cartoons in the morning with your kids. You understand what I'm saying? So you get in a hood, you get in the trap house for $500,000 in Los Angeles. However, if you go to Georgia with that kind of money, oh, you have a beautiful house right outside of Atlanta, country area, beautiful views, great weather, an airplane hangar. You get all of that kind of stuff, right? It's lovely. So you have those three houses, and then another one in Topanga Canyon, Los Angeles, worth $1.4 million in cash. And on the house in Topanga Canyon, you built in a wall around it, so-called security fence, all this, that, and the third. But then if you say to a BLMer, hey, we need a southern border wall between us and Mexico because of security purposes, oh, that's racist. That's not right. That's incorrect. And here's a picture I wanted to show you guys. So here's some of the houses that they were purchasing. And there's one over there in the Bahamas. They want as it stood beforehand. Okay, you got the South LA house, the Inglewood, Conyers, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. Beautiful house on the inside. Topanga Canyon, all of that. And you see the hangar right there on a Georgia home, okay? 3-bedroom house, airplane hangar, $415,000 in 2020, okay? And these are all purchased within like a year's time. So it's not a little bit of money. But this wasn't enough. We got to expand our real estate portfolio. So now we have a home worth $6 million in Los Angeles. So all those who say, hey, ABL, you know, $500,000 ain't that much money. Even $1.4 million ain't that much money. Well, how do you explain $6 million for one house? $6 million for one home. Like, break that down for me, make it make sense. I don't think anybody can make that make sense because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now your real estate portfolio is about what? About $9.4 million. Okay, you probably want to expand that $15-20 million or more. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Not in the least bit. So, and if you guys did not see my video, there's a picture of these women in front of the house they purchased, celebrating, right? Because check it out. And if you guys didn't see my video, you'll know what they were celebrating, but they were. Hold on. Let's go ahead and just jump to the actual picture rather than the video. Okay, here we go. Boom. So this is them. This is Patrice Cullors and the other BLM co-founders are all black and lesbian, and that's fine. Whatever floats your boat. No hate over here. So you see all that kind of stuff they got. They got the champagne flutes and the charcuterie boards, little finger foods, and nice little tablecloth and beautiful ambiance, right? You got the hanging vines, all that stuff right behind them right now. This is a screenshot of a video on Patrice Cullors' own YouTube channel. They're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm reading it right here. It's New York Times. Look, you see the subhead. Hold on. Just so you know, I'm not making it up. So look, okay. 3 leaders of the social justice movement, Patrice Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Melina Abdullah, recorded a video last June outside the pricey home while marking the first anniversary of George Floyd's murder. Yes, they did. Cheers. Thank you, black man, for dying. Boom. This is the house that George Floyd's dead body built, right? That's what's going on with that. So, I mean, when anybody wants to say, hey, ABL, why don't you support Black Lives Matter? I don't know. Maybe I don't like black men being celebrated for dying or anybody being celebrated for dying. Unless you're a bad person. I mean, unless you're somebody that, chopped up little pit bull puppies and put them in, like stuff like that. If you're just an evil person, that's one thing. But just a guy that was on drugs, he dies. I mean, why would I celebrate that? I don't understand. I'm not going to be crying over the guy neither, but why would I be toasting for what? What am I toasting? Oh, because I got a lot of money, because I done made billions off his death. Billions would it be? Of course. Nancy Pelosi said that she thanked George Floyd for dying. His girlfriend said the same thing. Thank you for dying. I appreciate it. You're able to expose all of what's going on. Without your death, this wouldn't be possible, right? So look at these people. I mean, how can anybody tell me that this is something that's good. This home they bought right behind them is the home they bought with BLM donation money. Yes, they did. Allegedly. So how can anybody support this and have a clear conscience in why they're doing it? Because I can't. Clearly, I can't. Cheers. Thank you, George Floyd. You dead. Hey, cheers. I mean, what in the world is going on here? Disgusting. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. This is Patrice Cullors right here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the home, by the way, is 6,500 square feet. It has 6 bedrooms and bathrooms, a fireplace, pool. No, fireplaces, pardon me, plural. Fireplaces, a pool, and parking for more than 20 cars. Now, they say this is going to be a content house, right? This is going to be a content house where they will have people come in there and make videos and stuff for YouTube. But they've not really produced any kind of content in that house, except for that video right there where they're celebrating George Floyd dying. So this is just a purchase to bolster their portfolio, to make money, to hide money, to, put it everywhere. Now, Patrice Cullors is under investigation right now, as far as I know. She's under investigation. Maybe they're done with her. Maybe they want to try to oust her and then bring in a new person, because everybody knows what's going on with these people. Everybody knows what's happening. They're trying to hide stuff through LLCs in Delaware. The oldest trick in the book. It's easy to kind of just make 2 and 2 equal 4 if you know what to look for. If you understand what you're looking for, it's easy to kind of just draw the connections and parallels. So you're not low, you're not hiding, ma'am or sir, whatever your pronouns are. Okay. And this person is a spokesperson. Doesn't look black to me. I'm not a racist, but Black Lives Matter, black people, blackity black, all this and that. Well, where's your black people at? Okay. I mean, this lady right here, straight from Seattle, Washington. What's going on? I mean, this is just crazy though. Like champagne, wine, charcuterie, grapes. All of this is off of a black man's death that they weaponized and turn it into wealth. That's all. They're Soros funded. Yeah, of course. Soros funded. They're funded by everybody. That's what's going on. So yeah, they got it. So now they have a real estate portfolio worth at least about 9.4, and they probably have more homes that have not been revealed yet. Probably so. They were trying to get the house in the Bahamas, but I'm not quite sure if that has been revealed because that's a foreign country. Maybe they don't have to reveal that one. I'm not really sure how that works. You guys, if you know about that, y'all let me know in the comments, but they probably have a lot more property than what they have been exposed for having, if that makes any sense. That's right, Bob. Okay, it's going to be a tax write-off. Yes, absolutely. Oh, it's a content house. It's for business. It's for business purposes. We're going to film videos in there. So we got one video on YouTube for real. It's right in front of it. That's all. But they are going to be living in there. They're not going to have people that were outside of Maxine Waters, the Maxine Waters event. They won't have them in there. Remember that whole thing where they were out there trying to get a Section 8 voucher? They won't have them in there. Talking about I want you guys to go home. We ain't got no home. We homeless, ma'am. They won't live there. Okay, that $6 million could have gone toward people that needed it, but we all know at this point that BLM, they're just out for themselves. Point blank, period. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get to some more topics here. And shout out to BLM in there, buy large mansions, black lesbian Marxists, big long money. Let's talk about, did you guys see this video? Okay, if you're squeamish, you already know what time it is. Please turn away. If you don't want to see a dead body, I don't mean the body is mangled. I'm talking about the body is standing upright at a funeral inside of a party in DC. Okay, I'm not making it up. I wish I was making it up, but I'm not making it up. Now, this is nuts. So I warned you, if you scream, just turn away. He don't look bad, but it's kind of creepy. And if you're not used to it, then it might kind of freak you out if you've not seen it. Okay, so just be ready. So again, this is in DC. The rapper, or the guy's rapper, his name is Gunu. That's his rap name, Gunu. He's 25 years old. He was killed in District Heights, Maryland, which is basically DC. Okay. Now, as a result, the funeral home decided to call Club Bliss in DC and rent the space out for his funeral services. But they didn't know, allegedly, the club didn't know that they would do this. So you see the guy's legs right here? That's the guy. He's been dead for weeks. He's been dead, literally deceased for weeks. This is him right here, propped up in the club, okay? That's him right there. He dead. He died weeks ago, but he's in the club. This is an old song. This is TCB, Heaven for a G. It's an old go-go song in DC. If you hear that kind of music, that's strictly DC thing. If you're not from DC, you probably never heard it before in your life. But that's why they know the words, because this is an old song that has been going around for a long time. This is a go-go that they're in right now. I've never seen a dead body in a go-go on purpose, but here we are. That's him right there. He's dead. Now, I was reading some of the comments. You guys say this is common in like Puerto Rico and also New Orleans. I can't say I've ever seen it before. Now, I've been to funerals, of course. You have the viewing and whatnot. But the viewing is like, okay, the person's in a casket and they're not propped up with street clothes on. And it's just like, okay, you see them in the casket and that's it. Right? You don't really see a bunch of extra stuff. But I've heard about, one of you guys on the Instagram said that in Puerto Rico, they have the guy dead, posed, doing things he did in his normal life, shooting dice and loitering. I'm like, really? So at a funeral, you have a guy propped up loitering. Is that what we're going to do? That's nuts. But I guess it is what it is. He's been dead for weeks. He looked, I guess, good. I'm not really sure how he looked in his normal life. So I don't know what to compare it, but he doesn't look necessarily super dead. So it's like a Weekend at Bernie's type situation. But there's more footage. Now, luckily nobody was doing anything inappropriate, twerking and nothing like that, because I've seen that kind of stuff happen before too. But there was more footage. Hold on, here we go. Let's put this up. There was more footage. Here we go. Sparkler's going off. Sparkler's going right beside him. Now, I'm not sure what that does, if that hurts his body or if it doesn't, but there's sparklers going off right here. Man, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless, really. Again, I've seen viewings and stuff like that, but sparklers on a dead body in the club hanging upright, I just don't really have any words. I don't really have any words. But his mom was on the news out there in Maryland, DC area, and she said that this is what he wanted. He wanted to go out like that, and she didn't see the problem. It's just whatever. That's what he wanted to do. He was 25 years old. He got shot and killed in District Heights, Maryland, which is basically DC. And that's what he wanted. He wanted to go out like that. He wanted to be in the club and the Go-Go dead. So, I mean, I don't know. I've seen kind of mixed reactions to that, but I think the main thing that I saw was like shock. Like, what in the world's going on here? And that's kind of how I feel. It's just really shocking. But I've seen so much in my life, I'm never surprised anymore. Nothing, I'm never surprised. If I get surprised, you know it's crazy. Because I've seen so much in my life. It's like, what now? You're going to have a meteor to come back. You're going to have dinosaurs reanimate from the ground. You're going to have a museum, and then the bones get skin on it and blood. It's a whole dinosaur get recreated. Like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Okay, but I'll move on from that story. If you guys enjoy what you heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And what else we got going on? Okay, let's talk about the Will Smith copycat, the rapper known as T.I. Now, okay, you may have seen T.I. before because I think he was on the stage with Candace Owens and he was trying to match wits, but that didn't really work out too well. Let me see if I can find that actually. Candace Owens, T.I. Okay.
I am.
So this is the big tough guy right here, Clifford, aka T.I. Let's put this on the screen right here.
Your question.
Period was America great that we're trying to replicate.
Well,
which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question. I'm ready to answer your question.
That's Candace Owens.
Okay, this is funny. Like, this clip says T.I. shuts down Candace Owens. It's from the Young Turks. You got like a 5-second clip of him talking, and then they jump in and start talking. I don't want to hear Anna or nobody like that. I want them to be quiet. See what they say.
Totally rock a hat right now that said "Make Black America Great Again" because Black America.
Make America.
Before,
We're talking about make America. That wasn't the question.
I am answering your question.
Period was America great that we're trying to replicate. Which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question. I'm ready to answer your.
So he's like over talking her, not letting her talk. She had a pretty good answer. I'm gonna let it play, and then I'm gonna get to the new one.
Question.
Which era was it? I like you so bad.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Smart. I want to like you so much.
I can't answer the question.
I want to hear y'all. I want to be able to hear them. I want to be able to hear them.
If I can't answer the question and you're just going to boo when I say slavery was all over the world, which is a fact, why are you booing a fact?
Because you're making light of.
No, I'm not.
You're making light of.
So you see what kind of guy he is, right? Just to get to the point, you see what kind of guy he is. You know what I'm saying? Super aggressive and all this and that toward a young lady, right? Okay, now let's fast forward a little bit. This was back in 2019, I suppose. Maybe earlier than that. 2019, I suppose. Yeah, 2019, about 3 years ago. Now, T.I., that's him right there, the kind of guy that's really animated. He has sexual assault allegations against him and his wife. There's some kind of allegations that they did something to somebody. I don't know all the particulars. I don't know too much about it. I've just heard about it through the grapevine, right? Is there any charges? I'm not really sure. Are there? I don't know if there's any charges yet, but all I know is that there's a rumor, there's allegations of sexual assault on this guy right here, T.I. Clifford Harris, and his wife, Tamika Cottle. Now, fast forward, T.I., who's a rapper, wants to be a comedian. He's going to open mics, and he's doing comedy. So he goes to an open mic in Atlanta on the east side in Edgewood, and he talks, he does like a 45-minute set. Way too long for an open mic, but whatever. You're doing a whole Netflix special on the open mic and on the east side. But anyway, after he's done, the girl that's hosting it gets up and does a bit about marriage. Not about his marriage, but about marriage in general, as she's bringing on the next guy. Okay? It's like a little bridge between him and then the next comic. But he was heckling her throughout the entire thing. Shut the F up, B, take that effing wig off. I'm not really sure why he's doing this. He's not, I don't know why he's doing that because she's speaking about marriage, not about him or anything like that. But after the heckling kept going on and on, she was like, okay, I'll take my wig off when you touch my allegations. So when she brought the allegations up, now he goes off on the girl. And then he eventually gets on stage to approach her in the Will Smith style, can't take jokes, right? If you're heckling somebody and they heckle you back, you got to take that on the chin. Or how about don't be in comedy? Don't say that somebody can't say something if you want to be in this field, okay? There shouldn't be limits to what you can say in comedy. Because if you're going to just limit stuff and you can't say certain things, then it's like, all right, well, what are we doing? At that point, you don't have comedy. At that point, you just have, like a TED Talk. You don't have comedy. You have something else. You have basically like cable news. You don't have anything that's edgy or can really be humorous, because any kind of comedy can offend somebody. Because somebody, one thing he said was, there's a rule. You could say anything that you want in comedy as long as it's funny. How does it make any sense? Because I might find my joke hilarious. You might not find it hilarious, T.I. or anybody else. You may think it sucks. So if everybody in the audience laughs, but you don't, are you now given license to come on stage and attack me or assault me because my joke was unfunny to you? That's not how it works. You know what I mean? We got to keep comedy alive. Comedy is like one of the last bastions of free speech. If they kill comedy, then we have no more free speech. This is literally what free speech, I'm not going to say what it's all about, but it's definitely an embodiment of the spirit of it. So here is Clifford, and he's talking about the allegations against him, not as far as the assault allegations, but as far as what the girl said about him calling her the B word, all this and that. He says he didn't do it. So if he didn't, that was censored right there, but he did hit it with the B word right here. That's him in the crowd at the comedy club. They got it on 4K, aka 480p or 144p footage, right? They got him on camera saying the B word as she's on stage, heckling her.
So I'm going to explain this one time. This is about what happened at One Night Only at our bar on Edgewood with myself.
It was not fake. Please stop.
T.I. T.I. came to the show. It's about over anyway. It's an open mic. He comes. He does like 30 minutes. Now, after he gets off stage, I'm going to the next. I'm hosting. I'm talking about marriage. He keeps cutting me off, telling me to shut the f up, calling me all kind of heckling me. So I'm like, all right, come on, stop playing with me. Like, it's crazy. You keep going, and I can't say nothing to you. He then starts yelling about how I need to take my wig off multiple times. Take your wig off right now. Cutting me off. Take your wig off right now. Because a lot of y'all are saying I took a cheap shot. This is literally going on and on harassing me. I don't know why my eyes turn hazy. It is really ugly. But anyway, I said, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations. Nobody was tight except for him. Nobody ever called him a rapist. I responded to him telling me in a room full of people to rip my wig off and made a joke just like he did. So if you got a problem with it, not mine. So I'm going to.
So basically that was it. I mean, she was being heckled and then responded to his heckling. And here is Clifford reacting to the whole situation.
For him, there is no charge.
I don't want to hear none of that. Don't play with me about that.
I haven't cut his mouth.
Hey.
See, all of that right there. See, that's not necessary. Okay, this is a comedy show. You need to just sit down and shut up or leave the premises. Don't try to have a battle with me like a rap battle, like you are battling some guy over some rap lyrics in the year 2007. This ain't that. Just go sit down and be quiet, enjoy the show, or bounce. It's simple. And people saying it's staged. Why would they stage something like that in this hole in the wall on the east side of Atlanta? For what? Why? Tell me why. It wasn't even recorded. Like T.I. did 45 minutes. It wasn't even recorded at all. What's the purpose of them staging this? Tell me, please. He does not own the club. No, he doesn't. It's a random hole in the wall club. He owns Club Crucial on the west side, if I'm not mistaken. By where he grew up in Bankhead, all of that. He doesn't own this little spot, our bar. I don't believe he does. But T.I. wants to be a comedian, so he's going to open mics to practice. You understand what I'm saying? And he goes there and he's heckling the girl for some reason. And when she heckles back, he doesn't like that. So now he wants to go the Will Smith route and try to approach her on stage and bark on her. I don't understand why, but I think the reason why is because of his emotions, because his feelings got involved.
I'm not. But one thing I am is a comedian. I'm
See, now it's going on stage. See, the security, there is security there. Before he got to that point, they should have intervened. They should not allow him to get on the stage with their girl because they're having a heated discussion, an argument. He's yelling at her. Hey, he's doing all that. The security should have stopped right there because this could have got really ugly. Luckily, it didn't get ugly, but it could have gotten very ugly.
This is a mother comedy show. And be clear, if I want to make jokes about something, I'll make jokes about something.
See, there goes security right there. There go Big Man right there. He's ready to step in, but he's way too late. Now, this hug, this passive-aggressive type restraint hug, see, this right here kind of proves that the allegations against him could be true. It kind of, because the allegations are that he's abusing these young girls, him and his wife were abusing young girls. This right here looks like he might do that. I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but look at his actions right here on videotape. If somebody was to tell you that this guy wasn't an abuser, allegedly, and you saw this tape, would it make sense? If you were to just put two and two together, would that kind of just, with that puzzle piece fit together? I think it would. Look at this. He's restraining her. This is really assault, actually. Passively, because he's soft like that. He's super soft. He takes the mic from her, snatches it from her. She can't talk anymore. It was a mess. It was a whole big mess. That's the Will Smith effect. When you go on stage and you attack somebody, you passive aggressive, all this and that. Funny enough, T.I. was born the same day as Will Smith, September 25th. Just interesting. If you're into the Zodiac stuff, that's just an interesting fun fact. Okay, not the same year, just the same day, September 25th. Okay, and he's also kind of like Will Smith. His wife was cheating around with Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd saw him in the club and slapped him, and T.I. couldn't do nothing back about that one because he ain't trying to get laid on the ground in Atlanta. He's not trying to have that happen. So he picks on women that are smaller than he is, and he's a small guy himself because he wants to feel like a big man, big and tough and big and bad, beating your chest. That's so whack. I hate that. But I digress. So hopefully we don't have this be a trend where guys want to go on stage and attack comics. And I called that from the beginning. I was like, look, this whole thing is going to start a trend of guys going on stage, trying to attack people, trying to assault people because they feel emboldened by Will Smith. Here's the funny part about Will Smith, right? Jada threw him under the bus. Okay, matter of fact, hold on. Let's go ahead and get the new news about that. All right, hold on 1 second. Let's not have the ads. Okay, let's just get past that. I don't got all day. So here's the latest news about Jada. You see it right here. This is on Penn Live, but it's everywhere. Just search Jada Pinkett Smith slap. It'll come up with the same thing. Will Smith fears being, quote, fully canceled. Insider says Jada Pinkett Smith wishes he never slapped Chris Rock. Now, understand. Oh, that's okay, before I get to that, so T.I.'s wife had an affair with Floyd Mayweather, allegedly. And Floyd saw T.I. in the club and slapped T.I., allegedly. But Floyd does not want to T.I. does not really want to fight Floyd Mayweather. You know, the champ. You don't want to fight the champ and get laid out in Atlanta in the club. So that's just what that is. But anyway, hopefully I said that correctly. I might have just been misset my words. But look, back to Jada. You see, she's correct that he shouldn't have done that and that he overreacted. But see, the problem is you don't say something like that in public. You don't say anything like that to anybody that may go public with it because now you threw him under the bus. Even though he's wrong for doing that, you got to stand by your man, right? Stand by him. You can say, I support him in what he does. I got his back 100%. If you disagree, say it behind closed doors. Don't put it out there to the public because now it's even worse. Your support system don't have your back at all. She does not love you, sir. This person, Jada Pinkett Smith, is driving him straight to the pits of hell. But it's his own fault, though, because he's allowing it to happen. He's allowing it. Okay, that's just, she does not like him. That's right, Devin. She does not like him at all. She loves Tupac. Tupac would never be in a situation. Tupac could shoot anybody and she would like, oh, I'll support him. I'll stand beside him. Like Dolly Parton, stand by your man. That's what she would do. But not for Will Smith. Nope. He don't get that because she don't like him like that. That's just what that is. All right. And I don't like how she has her own last name still. Why are you still going by Jada Pinkett Smith? What does the name Pinkett mean anymore to you, Jada? You're not a Hollywood like starlet. I mean, come on. Your last hot movie was Set It Off, 1996. This is 25 years later. Please stop. Just say Jada Smith. I mean, you're best known as being Will Smith's wife. Let's just call it what it is. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. But yeah, all of that for nothing, Will. You did that trying to impress your wife, trying to be this big stand-up guy. And she's like, nah, you shouldn't have done that. Throw you under the bus. Just like, terrible. But anyway, I'll move right along. So did I get into the trans UBI? Okay, so transgenders in California, to switch gears right quick, they're going to get UBI payments. That's universal basic income in Palm Springs, What's the name of this place? Palm Springs, California. Now, I've heard that Palm Springs is kind of a small place, meaning population-wise, not very populated, a lot of old rich people out there. But they're going to give UBI to 20 trans and non-binary people in payments of $900 and $600 a month. So I'm not sure who's going to get what, the 906. 20 will get straight cash payments, no strings attached, and then 20 more will get services that are probably the equivalent of the cash payments per month. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but they're going to get those payments in Palm Springs, California. Now, the explanation for the UBI for trans people was that if you're trans or if you're non-binary, you are a marginalized group. I'm like, all right, let's pump the brakes. What about being transgender makes you poor? Huh? If you wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to be a dude or I want to be a girl, what about that makes you poor? I'm not really understanding. You're talking about streetwalkers or something like that. It's a different story. I don't think them being transgender is the reason why they are on the streets. They're probably high on drugs and they probably got mental problems. That's probably the main thing going on with that. It's probably not anything to do with them being transgender, right? But I move on. The point is that they're going to give out UBI payments to 20 trans and non-binary people, and then 20 more are going to get services. Now, my whole thing is this. How are they going to prove that you are actually transgender? Okay, how about you have just anybody, any old dude, Bob the Builder, go up there and say, you know what, I identify as trans. It's like, sir, you have on your carpenter belt, you got a whole mustache and you look like Mario from the video game. Look, don't worry about that. Don't judge me for my appearance. I identify as trans. I want my money. Give it up right now. Well, sir, you're driving a nice F-150. It's brand new, 2022. Look, again, you're judging me because of my outside appearance and my things. Don't judge me based on my possessions or my appearance. I'm trying to get this money. So what's up? I need the money right now. I identify as trans. You see what I'm saying? Like, how are you really going to prove that somebody is who they say they are? We're talking about identity. Reparations, same thing. Same exact thing. How can you stop people that are actually not black from getting cash payments if that's going to happen? I mean, I could fake documents. Like, I could just say, okay, my Meemaw is from 1,000 years ago, was on a slave ship. Therefore, I'm black. You look like Dolph Lundgren. You look like Vladimir Putin in the face. You look like Bill Murray after a bender in Vegas. You look like that in the face. But your great times 8 Meemaw was black. Therefore, you black. So now you get a payment. This is such dumb stuff. I think in a society where you don't really have a lot of social problems, that you want to address, you create ones to address to prevent from addressing other issues. If that makes any sense. Like, you have problems in society. You got problems with drugs and violence and whatnot, but you don't want to address that because that takes police work and bad things. And you got to fund the police, and you got to get these drugs out of here. You got to close southern border. You don't want to talk about that. Those are real problems that could be fixed or addressed, but you don't want to do that. So rather than doing that, we'll say, okay, we're going to focus on this trans issue. Okay. And we're going to focus on these teachers that want to groom kids. Have you seen these TikTok videos? They're ridiculous. These people are not even really trying to hide what they're trying to do. Talking about, yeah, I'm going to quit if I can't groom kids. It's like, all right, well, I mean, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, peace out. You know, it's time to go because you shouldn't even really be there. There was one video I saw. Hold on. Look at this guy. Now, if he was a superhero, what would his name be? Hold on. I'll put him on the screen right quick. I will put him on the screen right quick. Somebody says, what's that? Jeannie says, proof in California. Like they want to proof for anything. Yeah, they're not going to need proof for anything in California. So here's this video. Look at this guy. Do you see this flag? This has everything in it. Here's a teacher talking about the bill from DeSantis. Look at this guy. I mean, come on. You couldn't be no more obvious of an offender if you tried, sir. Put a badge on your arm that says offender, lock me up right now, and throw away the key.
But the Don't Say Gay bill is actually also the Don't Say Straight bill.
If you can't see the video, this guy has on a shirt that's like every kind of gender identity, queer affirming, everything on one thing. You got the non-binary. I don't even know all what's going on. The black and the brown stripe, trans, whatever. I'm surprised there's white on the shirt because white is probably the most evil color in the world nowadays.
Here's a section if you wanted to pause and screenshot. Because of Florida's choice to keep things vague, so there's a big umbrella of which to discriminate.
Super diddler is hilarious. That's hilarious. Thank you. Was that Dr. Scotty Jones? Hilarious.
They also included straight people. So these are the straight things that you won't be able to talk about in Florida schools when this is enacted. Gender signs need to be taken off all of the bathroom doors. You cannot line up kids in girl rows and boy rows. You cannot talk about traditional families or a family with a man and a woman because that's heterosexuality. And I don't want y'all to talk about that in school.
It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Like, you're not really, you look crazy as a cat turd right now. Look at your eyes. They're about to bug out. You got dinner plates right now. You look nuts, man. You need to go to a serious hospital and check yourself in and get well. That's what you should do. Okay, let's not have that happen. My phone going off. My phone was trying to snitch on me.
You won't be able to celebrate Mother's Day or Father's Day in school. You won't be able to celebrate Christmas in school. I don't know what orientation the Immaculate Conception was, but I don't want my child subjected to that. What other examples of heterosexuality prevalent in K through third grade can y'all come up with?
Why are you so obsessed with teaching kindergartners about sex though, sir? I mean, for real, like this guy, you couldn't be no more obvious. If I see him on a police blotter or a blog and his mugshot's up there with some, some weird things on his computer, I wouldn't be surprised. Search him right now. Go to his house right now. You're going to find something. Guaranteed. Look at this guy. I mean, these are your teachers. Guys like these are your teachers right now. If this guy is your child's teacher, exit. Exit. Point blank, period. He's being dead serious. Oh, no, he's being serious. You say, is he being sarcastic? No, he's not being sarcastic at all. He's being dead serious. Follow Libs of TikTok on Twitter. There's an army of these people on TikTok that are teachers talking just like that. He is not the only one. There's a lot of guys just like him that speak the exact same way. So yeah, get that guy. Get him out of here. Okay, let's just he's got to go. He's got to go ASAP. Oh, here's a prayer for you guys. Also, not only is school ridiculous, K through 12, public, sometimes even private, college as well. Not only is school ridiculous, but a lot of church is as well. Not all church, but some. Let's hear the wokest prayer ever, shall we? Do not bow your heads, just listen.
O God of pronouns, we give praise to the Great One, the one who is identifiable as God. I am what I am, you say, the great they, the incarnate he and she, the God of trans being.
Yes, this is real. This is a PCUSA church. Okay, there's a whole thing. It's a First Presbyterian Church of Iowa City. This is a real speech. This is a real prayer. Yes, it is.
Impregnating Mary, fathering God, breastfeeding God of many breasts, you shatter all stereotypes, making every single person male and female, intersex, non-binary, in your image, exactly in your image. Spectrum, rainbow God, who put your promise for nonviolence in the symbol for queer love before humanity knew, because you knew.
Okay, you get the picture. I don't want to make it, I don't want to do too much. This is a church. Follow Woke Preacher TV. They got a lot of clips just like this all over the country. You see, I'm watching this stuff all day long, and I see kind of what's going on. This is why I'm able to kind of just, understand things in a certain kind of way. This is also why I'm not surprised anymore, because I see stuff like that all day long, every single day. Not Babylon B, that was not satire, that was 100% real. The church, again, PCUSA, Iowa Church, what's this, First Presbyterian Church of Iowa City. Yep, find it on YouTube. It's a full video on YouTube. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. They got a whole transcript and everything for that particular piece of the prayer. But yeah. So did I cover everything I wanted to cover? I think I did. I covered Elon and Will Smith, Copycats, and BLM real estate. And shout out to my man Mark Robinson. I don't have enough time really to cover that one, but that was a really good clip that he did. There may be one more clip I can get in right quick before we get to super chats. Maybe one more I have here. And you guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, here's a good one. Shout out to Grand Old Memes again for this one. You guys may have seen Barack Obama go to the White House and visit. And you saw Joe Biden kind of squirming around like, what's going on here, boss? This might have been Barack Obama's visit or a different one before Obama came. But here's your man, Joe Biden, not knowing what's going on, not knowing where to go or what to do. This is pretty sad, but at the same time, I don't feel bad for him. I do not feel bad for him at all. Look at this. Hey, talk to me. They got music there. I don't want to get striked. Look at this. It's ridiculous. I mean, what's going on? And matter of fact, hold on. There's one more I got to play. And then there's one of Biden trying to get Obama's attention and Obama's ignoring him. Oh, here it is. Yeah. There we go. Here it is. Embarrassing yet again. So he's talking to people. He's chatting it up. He's the center of attention. He's the guy everybody wants to talk to. The thing about Obama, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Like I said before, very charming, handsome dude. Great energy. That's just what it is. His politics obviously are terrible, but people like this guy. They really do. They love him, matter of fact. But Joe Biden, not so much. They recognize Joe Biden as just a guy, but not really lovable like Barack Obama is to many people. He won, speaking about Joe, because of Barack. If not for Barack, Joe would have no chance at all. Point blank, period. And here goes Joe trying to get a hold of him, trying to be part of the conversation. Super awkward. You know, that's like, this reminds me of, it's like you got the real popular kid in school, and then it's like the kid is not so popular trying to be in the mix. It's like, man, just do your own thing. Don't try to ride on his wave. Just do you. Just be your own person. It don't matter if you're not popular. Just be your own person. That's how I always was. And I never tried to ride somebody's wave. I was always my own just individual. But Joe Biden, not so much. Embarrassing, though, for a president to do something like that, to behave that way. And if you're the president, you got to have that kind of commanding presence. You got to have the presence of, I don't really need to be the one seeking out the attention, seeking out validation. I can just be, and it will gravitate toward me. Biden, embarrassing. Yeah, Kamala's all cackles, of course. That's what she does. Cackling machine. Okay, that's pretty much all that is. She's a cackling machine, and Joe Biden is a confused machine. Confusion machine. Embarrassing. People that voted for Joe Biden wanted another term of Barack Obama. That's all it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, Stacey Abrams. I almost forgot about Stacey Abrams. Yeah, that was crazy. I saw that, Boomhauer. Stacey Abrams became the president of the world on the Star Trek finale. They put a bunch of money in Stacey Abrams. I forgot about that particular thing where she became a millionaire recently. So before the 2018 election where she lost to Brian Kemp for the Georgia governor race, she had about $100,000 in the bank, or she was worth that much. And she had IRS tax debt, couldn't pay her debt. And the thing back then was, okay, if you can't pay your IRS tax debt, how are you going to run Georgia? If you can't manage your own finances, how are you going to manage our finances as a whole state? It doesn't make any sense. So ever since then, she's getting a lot of money. She made $6 million from 2018 to 2022, from what I've been able to read. And she's worth $3.8 million, I suppose, almost $4 million. So you go from being worth $100,000 to worth $3.7 million in 4 years. How does that happen? You didn't win the election in Georgia. You did not become the governor, but she became a media darling to those on the left. Speaking engagements and books and whatnot. They put a bunch of money into her. They put her on Star Trek because they want her to be the next person to succeed in a Democratic Party. It's not going to happen, though. That's not going to be the case. It just kind of throwing money away, in my humble opinion. Maybe they think she'd be able to turn Georgia blue, but it ain't going to happen. Stacey Abrams ran, because I'm right here in Tennessee, right? I'm right here on the line of Georgia and Tennessee. Like, Georgia is like literally right there. Literally. It's right outside my house. I saw all the Georgia commercials, because I'm right here by Georgia. I'm right here by MTG's district in Catoosa County. But anyway, I saw all the commercials, and her whole thing was about being anti-gun. But the problem is, in Georgia, everybody has guns. Black folks, white folks, Hispanics, little kids, old people, everybody got guns. The guns issue was a non-starter. You can't try to be an anti-gun governor in Georgia. Not going to happen. Not even among the black liberal Democrats in Atlanta. It's not happening. That's what killed her thing. And beyond that, Georgia is not really a blue state. It's still a red state. It's kind of weird because of Atlanta being so big now, but it's still a pretty red state. So she wasn't going to win, and she won't win again this time either, in my opinion. If she wins this time, it'll be some weird stuff going on, especially since you have this whole red wave happening all over the country because of the poor job that Joe Biden is doing. Why would anybody vote blue when we see what blue gets you? Huh? But yeah, Stacey Abrams believes she's the governor still. Delusion 101, and it's fine. You can think however you want to think. You can identify as a governor, but guess what? Once you go to the Capitol building, you're not going to be able to get in. Talking about something, yeah, I'm the governor. Where's your credentials, ma'am? I don't have it. We can't let you in. We're calling the police, and they're going to put you in the paddy wagon, not the regular car because you're too big. But anyway, I'll move on. Super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those right quick, and then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I got some super chats on deck. Then we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you to, hold on here. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, so Colin Kaepernick signs with the Seattle Seahawks. Did he for real? No way. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't see confirmation, so I can't say that. They're saying that they should sign him, but I don't see anything that said that they did sign him. Okay, they're not going to sign Colin Kaepernick. Don't nobody want that cancer in the locker room. They're trying to replace Russell Wilson. But if you couldn't even start over, I forget who that was, Blaine Gabbert in San Fran, how are you going to go replace Russell Wilson in Seattle? That ain't going to happen. I'd rather we get a guy from the practice squad to come in there and play quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. Ain't no way. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying here. I thought he said the NFL treated players like slaves, of course. But, that's all. He doesn't really want to play. He just wants to pretend like he wants to play. So when they don't sign him, he has a chip on the shoulder and a reason to act out and say, look, that's how they treat you. They don't want you to stand up when you black, all this and that. And he also wants a platform to be able to protest from. He wants that big audience to go out there and act a fool. Thank you to Jeff Graves says, what's good, ABL, longtime listener. Shout out from behind enemy lines here in NorCal. Hey, shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining. I know you're out there in the belly of the beast. I'm glad you're able to sneak away and talk to us over here. Leo also says, did you see the lady with the wine bottle dancing in front of Mayor Adams? I think this was when he announced the gay billboards. I did not see that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find, let me see, Eric Adams. Dance machine. Hold on. I'll be able to find that at a certain point. I can't find it right now, though. Okay, let me go back to here. Wait a minute. Where are we at? Michael Guest says, if stupidity could hurt, Slapsy Maxine Waters should be rolling around the ground in sheer agony. Let's go, Brandon. Thank you to Smash, who says, communist lesbians living off deceased black men? No way. They always had the only best intentions for him. Didn't even want him to be a father. Terrible. Christopher McAllister said, my name is Chris and I work for Twitter. I refuse to work for a white supremacist and I'm anti-LGBT ABCD. I'm resigning and Ron DeSantis, gay. RIP to the victims of Sacramento. We didn't forget. There you go. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Monique Price, who says, hey, ABL, do you think we're just going to go ahead and cancel student loans? The pause will extend it yet again today. I don't know how this will end. They're not going to cancel student loan debt. It's too big. You're talking about $1.3 trillion. They ain't going to cancel that. No, they ain't going to cancel that. Okay. They don't even want to cancel gas taxes in certain states. They ain't going to cancel no student loan debt. It's too big. Canceling student loan debt would be the equivalent to canceling everybody's mortgage. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me do a little comparison here. Mortgage debt in the United States is how much? Actually, not quite. That's $10 trillion. Oof. In 2020. No. Actually, $17.6 trillion in mortgage. So not quite. I was wrong on that one. But let's look at student loan debt. 2022. How much is that? Yeah, 1.7 trillion. Yeah, about 1.8 trillion dollars. They ain't gonna do that. That's too much money. Nah, that'd be catastrophic. Yeah. Thank you to hold on, let me go back. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says, I can't believe the individuals still think that Joe Biden makes the decisions. Let's go, Brandon. Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't do anything really. He's just a guy. He's just an empty suit. That's all. Ain't too much more, nothing less. Thank you to Dr. Musk's Retro Elixir, who says, US flags. Hey, ABL, have you watched a documentary on Rumble from 2016, Ukraine on Fire? Same BLM first logo used by all different groups sowing unrest. I've not seen that, but I'll check it out. I'll give it a listen. Michael Guest says, instead of Hail to the Chief, Dominate the Donkey should be played for Biden. That way we can point and stare while saying, look, everyone, that's our favorite Jack A. as he walks past. That gets to Caius Posthumous, Ternius, who says, how would you end BLM if you were POTUS governor? I'm not sure I'll be able to end them. I'm not sure I could really do anything that would end them. What I would do is any kind of riots that they engage in, you get in the ultimate. If I could do some kind of federal legislation on rioting, you would get the ultimate. You go out there and participate in the riot, you going straight to I would create gulags. Okay, it'd be a rock quarry with a gate around it, and you're going to be in there making big rocks and little rocks. Literally all day, that'd be your punishment. Take that big rock, make it into a bunch of little rocks. Take this boulder the size of a mountain and make it into street gravel. Your punishment would be that. That's what I would do. Yeah, I would have much more severe penalties for crimes. Simple. Michael Guest says, Salty Armor Lincoln, Nebraska in the house. Let's go, Brandon. That gets to Travis Grice, who says, there wouldn't be mansions without George Floyd, but there wouldn't be reparations without slavery either. If people get reparations for slavery, would it celebrate slavery the same way? That was a good question. Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it. Take it to I Am Rice, who says, do you think Biden learned sniff skills from Hunter? I think it's the other way around. I think Hunter is the way he is because of his father. Same thing with Hunter's daughter, Ashley. She screwed up too. You shall know, what's the proverb? You should know the tree by the fruit that it bears. Something like that. Will Smith, weirdo kids. Joe Biden, weirdo kids. You see the source. It ain't hard to tell where it comes from, right? It ain't like the kids are influencing the father. The father is influencing the kids. All right. Hold on. Let me go back here. Thank you to Farno Faye, who says, speaking to Tupac, how about the fact that their daughter Willow wrote a letter to him? Also, August Alsina made another diss to Will. Again, you know the tree by the fruit that it bears. Willow was writing letters to Tupac because Jada is speaking about Tupac, how much she loves him, and is not talking about Will that way. This is so simple. It's not hard to tell, but Will is so just hates himself so much internal pain that he can't really see this and act on it. He should just go ahead and bounce, but he doesn't want to. He won't. And it's sad to see it, actually. Thank you to Brent Armstrong, who says, what do you think about the new common law marriage proposal in Tennessee, not specifying age restriction, and Oklahoma making abortion illegal? Now, I don't know all the particulars of it about the Tennessee law, but I'm against it for a couple of reasons. First of all, the age thing. I think the reason why the age was removed is because they wanted to have the common law marriage in there. So you don't have to have a marriage license to be married, if I'm not mistaken. So because that rule is gone, there's no age restriction because that is part of a marriage license, if that makes any sense. Now, you still cannot be an underage person giving consent to any kind of sexual stuff. That's still illegal in Tennessee. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not sure that it would affect that. But you can get married under the age of 18 in the United States with parental consent. You can do that. That's legal. But obviously, it'd be to another minor. I'm not sure why you would do that, but maybe you can. Maybe like in certain communities, maybe if you like Mennonite or Amish, maybe that might happen. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something that's wrong, but that could happen in certain communities. Minor, like if you're 16, get married to a 17-year-old, that could happen. But I don't like the age limit thing. I don't like the common law marriage part because common law marriage, what that does is it forces you to be married even if you don't want to be married. You may cohabitate and think it's enough without getting married, but if you cohabitate for a certain amount of time, by law, you're now married. And I don't like that. I think that's wrong to do. If you don't want to get married, then don't get married. You should be able to do whatever you want to do without government forcing you to do it. You should be able to stay with somebody and not be forced to get married to them, in my opinion. That's just what that is, especially nowadays with people struggling to find places to live, inflation going through the roof. That's kind of how I feel about it. So, nah, I'm not really a fan of the bill. Thank you to Brent Armstrong. I already read this one. Thank you to, and Oklahoma. Shout out to the Okies, Oklahoma, making abortion illegal. We need that all over the country. Let's have that here in Tennessee, have it in Georgia, Texas, Florida, Alabama, wherever. Make abortion illegal again. How about that? Yeah. Now, I'm not saying kids should get married. Please don't misunderstand me. I think you should definitely be well into your adulthood before you get married. Okay. But again, my parents were young when they got married. My mom was 18 when she got married to my dad, who was 21. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I still think you should be well into your adulthood before you get married. But that's my opinion. Who am I to say what's right and what's wrong? But kids still should be kind of off limits. And if you're going to get married as a underage person, it should not obviously be to a person that's above age. It should be somebody that's close to your age, if you're going to do that. I'm not sure why you would do that, but I don't know everyone's situation around the country. I don't know where you come from, what kind of community you're in. I don't really have any idea. But what I have seen around here, unfortunately, remember I was in Walmart. I told you guys about that, where I got ran up on by some church people. It was a different kind of church. I'm not sure what it was, and I don't want to shout him out. But this guy came up to me with a pamphlet. It was him and his so-called daughter, but the daughter appeared to be his wife. I can kind of tell how they were walking around. That ain't your daughter. That's your wife, but she's very young. So that stuff like that, I'm totally against. Let's not have that happen. But you have certain communities that do stuff like that. I'm not a fan of that, period. Having a man that's clearly in his 30s and 40s with this 15-year-old as his wife, talking about that's my daughter, whatever. All right, thank you to Caius Posthumus, who says the border is a wreck, we're losing our country. Thank you to Silas, who says student loans are our key woke government leash. Caius Posthumus says Sacramento shooting is BS, they're blaming ghost guns. Thank you to Gary Smith for a donation. Hold on. Thank you to several more, who says, my God needs to stunner their God. Glass breaks, QN Stone Cold theme. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, Joe, why am I the last person being picked again? Exactly. There you go. Thank you to Les, who says, wonderful show, ABL. BLM owes Candace, you, and many black conservatives an apology for calling you all race traitors. There you go. BLM is a huge scam. God bless you and everyone here today. Les and Little Patriots, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate y'all. Thank you to Steve Travago, who says, cancel the mortgage debt and there'll be more jobs created. Joe Biden. Shout out to Wade Varney, who says, ABL, you're the man. Love you, dude. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you. It's time for the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. That's a great question, JL. Okay, if you have a same-sex cohabitation, then what? Is it also common law marriage? Very good point. I don't know. I heard the guy talking about it from Tennessee, and he was saying that he wants to have the union of marriage be sanctified between one man, one woman, but I'm not sure how that really plays into common law, because if you got two men living together for a long time, does that count as common law? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in that law I don't really understand. So I guess when we get some kind of clarification as the days progress, because as of right now, I don't really know all the ins and outs, all the particulars. So that's a really good question. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the calls. Hold on one second. Let's get Skype up and running. 18 is not a kid. 18 is an adult. If you can go fight in the war and die, you're not a kid. If you can go smoke cigarettes, all that kind of stuff, not cigarettes. If you can go vote, if you can go die for your country, you're not a kid anymore. You're an adult. I think what we do right now in our society is we delay development. We delay adulthood until we get to be 30 years old, which is way too late. By that time, you should already be settled into your adulthood, not just trying to become an adult at that age. 18 is an adult. You're a young adult, but you're an adult nonetheless. You're starting your life. You are beginning adulthood at that age. You're not a seasoned adult yet, but you are an adult, point blank. Okay, that's what that is. I was working and driving and, stacking money and all that kind of stuff at 18. I was doing that at 17. Had a car, had a job, all of that, and going to school. You're an adult. Okay. Now I want to you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Johanna calling from South Georgia.
All righty. What's going on?
All right. First of all, I want to apologize ahead of time. If you hear barks, it's my dog because she's afraid about the weather outside. But I actually have a theory, and it's regarding Black Lives Matter. So to explain this, I have to jump back and explain. Remember back in history, whenever Walt Disney, he secretly purchased parts of Florida, the land, under different aliases, to be able to purchase Disney World, and he wanted to, of course, secretly do it because he didn't want anybody privy to what he was doing to be able to ruin his now what it's $1 billion empire. Mm-hmm. Well, Black Lives Matter, of course, is what are they doing? They're randomly purchasing mansions all over parts of the U.S. So my theory is that these mansions that they're purchasing might be like mini ambassador buildings, and maybe they're going to go in later and purchase other buildings and businesses in these neighborhoods to create, I guess you might want to call it something like, how you have little Chinatowns, little Hades, things like that. So maybe that's what they're doing. Also, if they were willing to sacrifice George Floyd and others' lives and also pushing their agenda off on people as well, I mean, what does that? Come on, pushing agendas off and also sacrificing people's lives. So they're not an organization. I think they're a cult. But anyways, what are your thoughts on it?
That's a really good point you made there. That's a very good point. And they're operating like one, they're moving like one. Yeah, I definitely see it. And I see a lot of the same behaviors in other cults. I watch some of these specials on TV that come on, and it's a similar pattern that they're following. So it makes sense to me.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll say one more thing, and then I'll go ahead and hang up and leave it free for other callers. Another thing not to forget, Stacey Abrams, she was also the one, too, that wanted to sandblast the faces off of Stone Mountain. So hopefully, I'm not rooting for her. So hopefully she doesn't, get the position that
yeah, hopefully not. Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you as always, and you all have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Good call. Let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. All right. And let's go to, I'm speaking to 773.
How you doing, ABL? It's your retired Chicago policeman friend.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, I'm always glad to be on your woke, gender-neutral show. Thank you very much. I couldn't resist. Hey, I watched your video on the Black Lives Matter, and you summed it up in one word: disgusting. It's disgusting because they are obviously taking the money, and it's a smart thing to do, is to buy real estate. Because even if you're found out that you have funneled the funds into these properties, after a while, other things in the news come up and it's forgotten, and you still have the real estate in your portfolio that's making you money. That's what they did. There's so many millions of dollars that they went and they bought a bunch of mansions, a bunch of property, and no matter where the property is at, they're going to make money. And I find it to be disgusting and really disingenuous for even their own agenda, which is, we want to be woke and we want to do this and we want to do that. No, you just want to, now that the money's there, you just want to have a better life like we all want. But you're going to do it on the backs of other people's money. That's what you're going to do.
Exactly, 100%.
It's no better than the storefront preacher that takes in the congregation's donations and then buys himself a Mercedes and trips and a plane and everything else. It's the same scam.
That's right.
Well, all right, ABL. Always glad to watch your show, hear from you, and watch your videos that you put out all week. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
He's right on point with that. It's the oldest trick in the book, oldest scam that's been going on forever. It's easily identifiable, and that like they're not really doing it, but it's like we can see what's happening here. It's not you're not hiding it. You filmed a video in front of the house. We know what you're doing. Let's stop playing games here. 929, allow me speaker to.
Anthony, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, yes, I want to say, how did we go from let them get, how did we go from we just want to get married into let me sexualize you and let me make you watch born child? I mean, how did we go from that?
Well,
and
go ahead.
How did we let gay dancing cupcake like Dave Groban, right? So-called himself conservative, but conservative supposed to support the tradition value and nuclear family, and the other person that's so-called conservative congratulate him. I mean, we cannot let them keep hijack our conservative movement like this. This is the reason why we have the Bush warlord, the Bush family warlord, and we have bunch of big rhino like Miss McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, Lindsey Graham, and Mitt Romney.
Right, no doubt.
Yes. Also, I want to talk about Officer Tamtum. I mean, I don't want to disrespect him, but I want to say he is a hypocrite. I mean,
you say
remember
you said Tatum?
You have the live stream.
You said Officer Tatum?
The last time you had a live stream with him.
Yeah.
Well, he completely agreed that anyone who disagrees is ignorant. It's not good. But if you look at the video, he have the video that he disagree with Dave Groban. Also, I remember the other previous video. He say that God made a judgment. Make a judgment, but a right judgment, and acknowledge the sin, forgive the sinner, but do not love the sin. He make a video about that, but the officer Tatum say, well, you don't know what God think about the gay marriage. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I caught that. I'm not really sure what the situation was. Where's the hypocrisy? I don't understand. Maybe I missed it.
Oh, yes. Well, I just want you to know that when so when a Democrat voted, the reason why they leave their party because they unable to incapable to serve their party anymore. As the Democrat Party, they move further from socialism to globalism. And the Democrat voter who leave the party, they still keep some the far left ideology and belief. They still keep some of those far left radicals. And those far left radicals is against our conservative movement, what our values and our interests that we stand for. I mean, I am not going for like they should not switch to the Republican Party, but I am going for that we conservative movement we must stand for our value and interests, which means we cannot cave or please them, or we lose what the conservative value really is.
Okay, I understand. So basically, stand on your principles and don't bend for the left. Don't try to compromise with the left. I understand.
Yes, that is what I try to say.
All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
All right, let go, Brandon, and the shot must flow.
All right, now. Shout out to the caller. Okay, let's get some more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
And I was in shock 2 weeks ago. I walked in the bathroom at my job. I walked in the bathroom. I had to step out to make sure I walked into the men's bathroom because I saw a tampon dispenser in the men's bathroom.
No. I can't do nothing with that. It's like, wait a minute, am I in the wrong spot? What's happening here?
Yeah, I went to the urinal, did my thing, washed my hands. I saw the dispenser, didn't think about it. And as I was drying my hands, I looked back at the dispenser. I'm like, let me look at this. They had pads and the stick. Like, what guy needs all that?
You're not going to need any of that. Like, where are you going to put that at? Like, you're not going to need it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyways, the Will Smith and the Will Smith slapgate. I noticed that a lot of people have been saying that I can't believe that Will Smith got a standing ovation and received a reward after that. I said to myself, why are you surprised? Have you heard of Roman Polanski? How they knew that he raped a 14-year-old child in Robert De Niro's jacuzzi? He still ended up winning an award and people gave him a standing ovation?
They sure did. That's right.
So I don't know. It's Hollywood. It's not a surprise at all. When they able to do a standing ovation for that, of course they're going to give a standing ovation to Will Smith.
Exactly, because you're not dealing with they're not very good people already.
Even though they want us to, they preach to us to be good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The NFL, how they forcing people to hire minorities and women. The other thing they mentioned, they made a committee, a diversity committee, to look at their hiring practices to make sure that there's nothing going wrong with it. My issue is that, before I get to the issue, I will commend them because I'm a glass half full type of guy. I will commend them that they're trying their best to try to bring in more diversity. But my issue is it's all on one side. They're doing so much, but they're not looking at, okay, what about the minorities? What? Why aren't they being hired? Because looking at just black men in general, how many black players want to go back to go and coach after they're playing?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not that it's really
Right.
probably not that many. It's pretty low, so they're not even interested in going back into coaching. If they are interested, some of them may not even want to go through the process. Uh, th- this cornerback, this defensive back player that played 9 years in the NFL, named Darius Butler. After he got done playing, he said that he wanted to be a defensive coordinator, but he doesn't want to go through the steps because he felt like I played in the NFL for 9 years. I should be I should be able to step in and coach. When coaching is so much different from playing because it's a teaching thing. Even though you played at the highest level, played really good, it doesn't mean that you know how to teach the skills to the other player. Therefore, it's best that you do go through the process to learn how to coach, learn how to teach, instead of just trying to step in right away because you think that you're overqualified, which you're really not. You're not overqualified because coaching and playing is different.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Also, with with the Ti thing, how you talk about the Will Smith effect. I think I think that it started a long time ago because it first started with the shouting. How if you shout to people that when they say things that you don't like, then you try to shut them down. Now they try to up it up to go to physically attacking people. You see, we saw that at the Trump rally. How you notice how difference between the Trump rally and the Hillary Clinton rally is that the left was physically attacking people at the Trump rally because they don't like Donald Trump.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right then. Bye.
All right. Great call. I mean, all good points made. Okay, I got to go ahead and restart Skype because once it act up again, you know, the white man trying to interfere with the stream. Got to restart Skype right quick. Luckily, the weather is good tonight because I had a power outage before like the show started. It was a power outage like right around 6:45. I was like, oh, here we go. Yet again, another power outage. But nah, you know, it was some pretty bad storms like in Georgia and also south of here, like, you know, northern part of Georgia, Atlanta, all the way like through like down to like the Macon, throughout the whole state. It was pretty bad. Let me turn this down. And the number to call 434-658-1220. Yeah, it was pretty rough for a minute, but I think it's all pretty much good now. All right, and make sure everything's straight here. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. All right. Did it hail a lot? Yeah, I heard about some of the hailing, also some of the tornadoes. Luckily, we didn't get any tornadoes here, but we do get tornadoes here. We had a tornado that hit like right where I was living before. Hearing that train sound, very scary. I thought I heard it a little bit earlier today, but I didn't. 706, you're online. I'm speaking to.
Hey, you speaking to Tom. How you doing, ABL?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm a longtime fan. Did 28 years in the military. Love a lot of the context of your program. Just great. This is fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
As far as the Will Smith stuff, everybody's got opinions and stuff like that, but it's kind of a shame that he showed his true colors, and him and his wife got all that publicity about open marriage and stuff. It kind of undermines a whole bunch of people that looked up to him as an entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and it's going to have a lasting effect on a lot of different things. People they saw that slap and they might have thought, okay, it's just between two guys, but it's much deeper than that when you have the impact that a Will Smith has.
Yeah, no doubt. Being 28 years retired military, I have a tendency to look at the bigger impact. Like, all right, so okay, your dad's Will Smith, your mom's Jada, and then there's the thing that happened in 2020 with the son and the son's friend, and that's all been publicized. It kind of really screws with the kids' minds, even though they're adults now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but man, you just keep doing what you're doing. I really don't want to keep this too long. I just want to say you're a patriot. I totally salute the efforts in what you're doing as far as educating people and just having civil discourse without the cursing and the putting other people down and whatnot. Just take it for what it is and live your best life, you know?
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care, brother.
That's a great call. That's what I try to do. I just try to be cool and not to be weird or nothing like that. Just treat everybody right. I feel like that's how we all should do that. But that's not necessarily how things go, unfortunately. Not all the time. All right, let's go. 773, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. First off, how are you doing after that storm last week?
Oh, everything's cool. We didn't have any damage or anything. It was just like power outages.
Yeah, for a minute I thought someone was going to swat you like they've been doing Tim Pool.
Nah. I kind of solved that problem, so it's all good.
Okay, well, keep your powder dry and 10 o'clock high.
There you go.
Anyway, hey, ABL, have you seen that new Oreos commercial?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they apparently got woke pandering to the alphabet community, meaning ahead for Pride Month, or supposedly going to protest against this Florida bill, which everybody who has read it in depth knows full well it doesn't say a single thing about the alphabet community. It says specifically about teachers can't teach about their private life directly to minors.
Right, exactly. And that shouldn't be a thing that's too difficult to follow, but a lot of these teachers, they have their own ulterior motives to try and follow.
Yeah. The weird, most infuriating thing that's been bothering me, which is what I wanted to call you about last week, is that predominantly all these woke companies, for some reason, always have these woke activist women at the helm, either pushing alphabet content or pushing close pedophilia to kids, and most of them don't seem to see anything wrong with it. Take like with Abigail Disney, for example, and what she had to say in response to that bill.
You say what now? What about Disney?
Abigail Disney, Walt's great niece.
Oh.
During that live Zoom meeting, she said some stuff that she's on board with pushing this kind of contact to young kids in the name of diversity, even though it's closely pedophilia to anybody with a critical mind.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, take a look at it if you haven't seen it.
Oh, definitely.
I do have one critical question to ask everybody here who's still been paying close attention to Miss Jackson Brown and the Supreme Court, is specific to the ladies. How can you as a woman defend her when she's going to be endangering your kids by letting child predators go loose with lighter sentences?
Yeah, that shouldn't be going on. Nobody should be trying to defend her. It's weird to see anybody defend her, even like, especially on our side, like the Mitt Romneys of the world. That shouldn't be going on.
Yeah, like I said, it's much more infuriating hearing Black people try to defend her and using the same type of excuse that Whoopi Goldberg and others have used. Any criticism against a Black woman is racist and sexist, even though that's BS right there, because any criticism, good or bad, is healthy for anybody, and it's not discriminating, especially if it's 100% legit. But if you ever do have a conversation with any ladies in your family about the Supreme Court justice or boycotting Disney, please leave that question on the table for them to actually really consider, because the media is not going to give them the full details of Ms. Jackson Brown's record or tell them the real truth behind this woke agenda in Disney.
Right. Yeah, that's very important too, to know the full story, the full details. It's very important.
Because I've been arguing with my father about that, because he has no clue other than what the headlines from the mainstream media says about this bill. And like I said before, everybody has not fully read it or know about these teachers pushing pedo nonsense to kids. And as far as I'm concerned, not even high school kids should be taught their teachers sex life or any other personal matters at all, because technically speaking, even for high school kids who are maybe mature, still can be groomed or taken advantage by predators at that age.
That's right.
So I really think that feminists should really watch what they have to say before they lecture us about harassment.
You said what now?
I said I really think feminists should kind of watch their own choice words before they start lecturing us about rape and harassment when they're defending pedos on their side who have a history of doing this.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Have a good evening.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, let's get some more calls here. Let's go to Elon, speaker to 917.
Hi, ABL. This is Corinne from NYC.
All righty, what's going on?
Hi, I just wanted to say you're doing a great show tonight. And I was thinking about calling in when Victor called in and said that he saw the tampons in the men's restroom.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I was just talking to my friend about that, because I was telling her, like, it's kind of weird because my boyfriend said he saw that too, not at his job, but at some establishment in the men's room. They had a tampon dispenser. So I was telling my friend that's kind of wasteful, because sometimes when you do go in the women's restroom, you might happen to need one of those and they're out. So those are perfectly good tampons being wasted in the men's restroom.
Exactly. I mean, it's so silly. It's like, what are we doing? It's like a man's not going to need that. Like, come on.
I mean, I could use those sometimes when it's out. I'm like, it's out. And they're just wasting them. They're probably collecting dust. So I also called because with the whole bathroom bill, I know that started a while ago, but I used to think about it. Here in NYC, majority of restaurants, stores, they still stick with the traditional men-women bathroom for the most part, like majority. But there are these little restaurants and places that are experimenting, and you'll see it just says gender neutral. And if I'm not talking about a single stall, because I don't care about that. There's no need to put a sign for a single stall so you can lock the door after yourself. But I mean a bathroom with several stalls, like people coming up in there, looking in the mirrors and stuff, men and women, mixing it up. So while you're in a stall, there's a man that might just walk up in there. There's a few places like that. So it finally happened to me, because I used to think, what if that happens to me one day where I go into one of these bathrooms and a man just walks in? It finally happened. I went up in the bathroom and I came out of the stall. I was alone. There are 3 stalls in this restroom in a restaurant. So I came out and I'm in the mirror now because my boyfriend's waiting for me in the restaurant, and I'm in the restroom. So at this point, I'm preening in the mirror, just like getting myself together. And a dude walks in, tall. I'm 5'3", small frame, and a tall dude with a beard, everything, not wearing a wig, nothing, just walks up in there. And I kind of, as soon as he opened that door, I could see him to my right, and I'm still looking in the mirror, washing my hands. We just made eye contact. I kind of just gave him this deer in headlights look, like, oh no, you a dude. And then I kind of had this look in my eye because I could see my reflection in the mirror, in my peripheral vision. And I guess I had this look of fear, like shock, where I was pleading with him, just don't do it, bro. Walk out. Just walk out right now. And he just did a U-turn and left. He walked right out. But I felt so uncomfortable. I never feel like that when I go into the restroom because I feel like it's a safe space. So it just showed me how harmful this is to women and girls. That's the people that's going to get hurt from this bathroom mixing up thing. When I was talking to my boyfriend, when I went back to the table, I told him what had happened. And, he was just saying, oh my God, a dude walked in. That's crazy. Next time we go into one of these restaurants with gender neutral bathrooms, I'll stand in the middle nearby in case a dude walks in. I'm going to walk in too,
Mm-hmm.
But it just made me feel so uncomfortable. I didn't even finish fixing myself up. I was just so nervous. It's like, I don't want to feel like that in a bathroom. When I'm in a bathroom, that's a very vulnerable space. I'm literally vulnerable, exposed and vulnerable. So I don't want someone with I don't know if I could say it on your show, with a penis. If you have a penis, I don't know why this is hard for people to understand. As a woman, I don't feel safe with you walking up in my bathroom. I cannot tell you how fearful I was when a 6-foot-something dude walks up in there, and I just gave him a look like, don't do it. Don't enter this bathroom right now. I'm alone. There was nobody else in the stalls, and he just walked right out. I don't think he was menacing or anything because he saw the sign that said gender neutral. So it's like, you don't know which one is what. You don't know what's women or men. You just decide which one to go in, and you see by who's in there. So he just left. He just was out. And then I just got out of there, did not feel safe. It's just really, it's not cool. I don't want to feel like that when I go in the bathroom. I want to feel safe. I don't want to feel like I have to hurry up and, do my business, rush out of there because a man might come in, or is a man there? No, it's not anti-trans. It's just nature. I don't want to feel like that. I'm not interested in going in men's bathrooms. I want nothing to do with entering a man's bathroom, and I don't want them in my space. If you have a penis, I don't want you in my bathroom. Not hard.
100% correct. I mean, to me, it just makes sense, but some people don't understand common sense. I guess common sense ain't too common anymore.
Yeah, until something happens, and then everybody realizes why you should separate these bathrooms.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I just wanted to share that after I heard Victor talking about the whole tampons in his workplace bathroom, and say you're doing a great job, and have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye, Theo.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Hopefully that was PG enough. We used medical terms. We didn't say nothing else. We didn't use no curse words. Okay, let's go to 605 in online. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Whitney from South Dakota. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm pretty good. Cannot complain, I guess. So I'm kind of going to switch gears here. I listened to your panel discussion with on Brian Tatum's channel last week with Jericho Green and Johnny, and then obviously you. But you guys were talking about the relationship between a father and their child, and somebody, growing up without their dad has, harder time growing up, basically. But I kind of wanted to relate to that because I grew up not knowing my father at all until 5 years ago. I finally met him. I'm 29, and I met my dad when I was 24. Found him, finally, introduced myself he was like, my mom kept him from me, you know, and I just wanted to, like, I guess, like, share, you know, like, you know, the, how am I trying to say this? Like, the whole not knowing, you know, I had a lot of resentment towards my mom for a really long time, you know, and not knowing yourself and, you know, knowing your dad and like finding out that other half of you, you know, completely helps with your identity, you know, and that's kind of what you were talking about. And I just kind of wanted to like echo that and be like, yeah, that's true. Even, you know, as a woman, you know, like, you know, the relationship between a girl and their dad is important too, you know. I don't know. Sorry.
No, I mean, I understand. I do understand. It's very important. And when you don't have it, it's like you're missing something inside of you, and you might not know what it is. You might not be able to pinpoint it, but you're missing it, and you really are going to seek it out. When you get to be older, especially, you're going to seek it out. It's extremely important to have both of your parents in your life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like as a mom myself, I have 5 children, and like I could never imagine not having their dad in their life. Like, you know, my dad was kept from me, you know. It wasn't like he, you know, was a deadbeat, didn't want to be there. Like my mom would not allow him to be there, you know. So that's like a different, you know, a lot of resentment towards my mom. I mean, I've forgiven her and everything's fine, you know, now, but like as a child, that's really hard to go through, and you're so angry all the time, you know, and you can't, like, you just really hit a note. It resonated with me with that conversation we had, and I just wanted to let you know that, you know, that fathers are important, and I truly believe that, like, you have to have that in your home, you know, in order to have, like, a good functional, you know, life, and not only that, but, like, society, like, we all need to have our parents, you know. It shouldn't be taboo to, like, lean on your parents, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I agree with you.
I feel like that's what they're trying to. I feel like that's what they're trying to do.
Oh, they are.
You know?
Like Black Lives Matter. Part of their mission statement was to erase the nuclear family. That was on their website. It was literally right there. So that's you're 100% correct. They do want to. Yeah, they do want to do that.
Yeah, they do. No, you know, after George Floyd, I finally researched BLM, and I was like, okay, I just wanted to look it up, do some reading, you know, like, I just felt like I had to do it, you know. It was time to actually sit, you know. I was a bleeding heart liberal, you know, like psychotic, you know. Thank God I woke up. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I was reading that and I was like, wait a minute, what's the nuclear family, you know? And I looked at the definition. I'm like, wait a minute, like, they actually think this is bad? Like, I'm really confused. I didn't. Hold on, Raven. Sorry. But yeah, no, I was really dumbfounded. Like, and from that moment on, like, reading that with my own 2 eyes, I just could not support it anymore. I had to be really quiet about it because people in my circle at that time were very much, you know, woke, like, to the extreme, you know. So it's been nice finding conservatives, you know, or finding that outlet to actually, you know, see content, talk to people who actually are on the same wavelength. It's definitely more, it's easier on my blood pressure, I feel like.
Nah, I'm with you. I understand. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL.
Right,
you have a good night.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to some more here. Let's go to 909. Now, who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name is Heather. So I wanted to talk about just how I met somebody from another country, and they just talk about how they know more than some people do in the U.S. just how ridiculous Biden is, and like the whole BLM and how the pipe, the key the pipeline that wasn't done here, and they're like, they're like, what's going on over there? Why are third graders keeping a secret from their parents that they want to be transgendered and stuff? So I don't know. What is your take on that? How we're looking ridiculous to other countries?
Well, yeah, I think people in America see it, but not everyone sees it. But the fact that people in other countries see it lets us know that it's not just racist Americans or people like that can see the ridiculousness. Everybody sees it. It's not a thing that's just one piece of the American population. Anybody can see ridiculous things that are going on when they're happening. I mean, if you were to tell anybody in the world, hey, how you feel about kindergarten teachers talking about sexuality to children, they would say, no, that's not very good to do. Regardless of where you live in the world, that would not be very popular. So I think what's happening with the Democratic Party is not very popular around the world, nor is it very popular here in the country, because you saw what happened last year during the Virginia governor race. It was a red wave.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, and just the, and even how Biden, like, people feel bad for him. They're like, he should be in a home, like, what are they doing, and this is somebody from another country. They could obviously see how he is, and I'm just so embarrassed. Like, what do you say to that? Like, they're like, why, if 50% of the U.S. would stick up for this, wouldn't something happen? That's what this person asked me, and I said, yeah, but it's just not the popular thing, and the people that are in power are the ones with the money, and I don't know. It just, I feel like we're in a losing battle here. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're not quite out of it yet. We're still in the fight, but it's going to be an uphill battle because they're going to keep on going and going and going. They're not really going to stop at all.
Yeah, it's going to get. I feel like it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. So, yeah, that's what's going. All right. Well, thank you, ABL. I love all your commentary. I listen to everything. I'm a big fan. Thanks for what you do, and I think it's worth doing, and more people need to be like you, stand up for what's right. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. All right. And thank you all for being here yet again. I couldn't do it without you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 469, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, this is the Money Nest. I'm here to talk about the abortion story in D.C. Have you heard about that?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, man, it's a pretty interesting story. Dang it, I wasn't expecting to get a call this soon. It took a while to get this. Dang it, I got off guard with this one. So I'm not prepared for this. I totally got caught off guard. But the whole thing is that there's an abortion story here in Washington, D.C., where an anti-abortion person obtained these fetuses or babies, these remains. And
I think I did hear about this story.
Whole list.
Yeah, I think I did.
I had a whole list. I lost it.
Yeah, I think I did hear about the story. So it was a person where they were like undercover or something, and they were able to obtain discarded fetuses, baby fetuses.
Yes, and not only that, these bodies, like they're pretty much born babies, most of them.
Yeah,
and some were partially aborted.
Yeah, there was evidence of a baby that was actually born, and then they killed it after the baby was born. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the one. There were about 5 full remains and probably some other pieces in that story.
That's crazy. It's crazy, but this is what we're talking about because remember a few years back, maybe about 2 or 3 years back, they were trying to have this this bill passed in Virginia, and Virginia, quite frankly, is DC. We're talking about politics. So if you found fetuses like discard like dead babies in DC, Virginia's right there. So anyway, they were trying to have it so where you could have abortion after birth. Ralph Northam was saying, okay, when the baby is born, you can figure out what's next. Figure out what's next. What you mean figure out what's next? You're going to kill the baby after it's born? So I'm not even surprised, unfortunately.
I know, it's so ridiculous. And these things, I mean, not these things, these aborted children, these babies, have faces. You know, you could see the expression in them. You know, the pain. And, you know, some of them are just so disturbing, I didn't even want to look at them anymore. I was just looking at the blur images, and some of them I didn't even want to see the full, you know, like full uncensored images. You know, some of them look kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
So, pretty strange times we are in, I would say.
We definitely are. This is why I'm glad that we're fighting back. You know, the law in Oklahoma that says that abortion is outlawed. This is going to be an everyday, constant battle. It's not just going to be, okay, we get one guy in office, it's the end. No, it's going to be constant, local, national, every day to fight against this evil that's coming into the country.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing sometimes. I look into the sky and I look at some of the simple things, you know, like the grass and all that, at the raw materials on this earth, and I wonder how far did we come to this point in our civilization sometimes. You know, like we made it this far and now we are regressing. We're killing the future generation.
Yeah.
So backward.
I agree.
All right. So thank you for taking my call. Hopefully I'll come up with a more interesting story. I mean, not more interesting story. I'll be more prepared next time. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. But yeah, I did hear about that story. I may do a video about that, actually, talk more about it. Because that was pretty disturbing, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. But these kind of things, they happen, unfortunately. Yeah, that story came out of DC. I forget who that was that had the let me see. So members of progressive anti-abortion uprising said they obtained the fetuses from a medical waste company employee who allowed them to take a box from his truck. And they had 115 fetuses from outside DC clinic. So 115 dead babies. Pretty morbid, but I'll move on. 589, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 589, hello. Going once. Going twice. Hello. All right, 589, you gotta be ready to be on the phone because it's a delay. You gotta be right here with it. Have your device right here so you can be picked up on the call. Yeah, matter of fact, I did see the article. I think I might go ahead and I may do one about that. So the activists Teresa Bukinovich and Lauren Handy, they did an interview on television about the whole situation. Yeah, it's pretty rough. You know, people don't really understand what abortion is. They don't really understand that process. They think it's just, oh, well, the baby's gone or the baby just disappears magically. No, that's not what goes on. If people understood what happened with the abortion process, they will be less inclined to do it, in my opinion. 559 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick, California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, good, man. You know, I just had a quick question because, you know, it's interesting to me how the federal government or any of the state governments always seem to run towards like the big national leaders, like a Reverend Jackson or a Crump or, you know, anybody big like that within the black community, instead of going down into the granular nitty gritty, you know, literally town by town, block by block, house by house, situation to situation, and trying to solve the issue down at that level, even perhaps even getting a prevention to any of the statistics, so that way that they could start to, just kill the statistic altogether, if that makes sense, instead of listening to, these corrupt, big, massive players going to them and trying to get the answers from them. And then, okay, now they're telling us that we have to do this when that's the wrong thing in the first place. So my question is, like, how would you get down to the granular situation and solve it, to just end the statistics, to end the, I guess, the epitome, if my questions are making sense?
I mean, like, you're asking me to create a new energy source that does not need carbon or nuclear or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is a pretty big question to answer. But you know what? The thing is that it is a very important question that I think we all, as a society, need to put our minds towards, because until we figure that out, I don't really see much change.
Well, I'll tell you this, though. I mean, there's some things you can do to minimize it. I'm not going to say that I have the silver bullet, the panacea. I don't have anything like that. What I'm saying is, you could do one thing I would do if I could just be the king. I say it all the time. If I could be the king and I could just rule by fiat, I would eliminate the welfare state, cut it out right away, because the welfare state sponsors a lot of this dysfunction. Okay, like the single parent household rate has exploded since the welfare state came into existence. In the black community, it was considered to be a tragedy that we had an 80% two-parent household rate. That was a tragedy in 1960, okay? Because at the same time, the white community was at about 95% two-parent household rate. We were at 80. That was considered a tragedy. Now, we're almost at the mirror opposite. We're almost at 75 to 80% single-parent household rate. Now, versus 1960, we had 80% two-parent household rate. And the thing that changed the most is the advent of the welfare state, and also things like women's liberation and whatnot. But the welfare state, why have a father in the house when I could just have Uncle Sam be the father? What's the point? But the result of that is a much more violent and dangerous community that creates all types of criminals. Like the incarceration rate has exploded, and a lot of that is because of that. A lot of these boys grow up and have no direction, just brainless monsters that go and commit violence wherever they want it. And that's what's fueling all the death, destruction, the chaos, the drug and the thug and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to put it in that, you got to kill the welfare state. And also, I would say you got to have tougher sentences for crimes. People think that if you go to the black community, you commit a crime, you're going to get a very long time in jail. That's not true. I know guys that have done very heinous crimes, violent crimes with guns that then shot, killed people, and they get slaps on the wrist. So tougher sentences for crimes, no more welfare state, just, rule with an iron fist. Nothing else is going to work. You try to have all these sensitive, liberal suggestions, it's just going to be taken advantage of. These guys in the streets are completely heartless. They don't care. If you give them an inch to take a mile all the way to the sun, you give them an out, they'll play on that. They'll cry like girls in court to get out of going to jail. They don't care. That's what they're going to do. You got to be really hard on these guys and lock them up forever if you want to have any kind of change.
Right. You know what? I agree 100%. The welfare state needs to just die. We need to just get rid of it and take it out of our society. That is, I agree, the biggest problem in this country right now, especially in that situation. So anyway, I appreciate your time, ABL. Thank you so very much. Take care.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Great call. But yeah, that's one of those tough questions. It's hard to really answer it. It's hard to really fix that kind of problem because the problem is so deep, But I know what I would do. I know what I would do to put a dent into it. Because a lot of these guys that are out there committing the crimes is the same guys over and over again. And they know they're not really going to get a lot of time in the penitentiary because of how soft people are around them. Okay. One thing I'm a good kind of, how can I say, a good indicator of what I'm talking about is a city like Memphis. Now, Memphis is dangerous, completely dangerous. And it's like on the border of Mississippi and the river, Mississippi River. So it's not quite on the border of Arkansas because of the river, but it is, minus the river. If you took the river out, it'd be the border. But anyway, it's a physical border between Memphis and South Haven, Mississippi, stuff like that. Now, in Memphis, the crime is out of control. But in South Haven, it's not quite that way. Even though it's right there at the border. Mississippi, you got South Haven, and then above that, you right in South Memphis almost. Why is there a difference in crime in between the two places? It's similar to the reason why Bristol, Virginia went bankrupt, but Bristol, Tennessee did not go bankrupt. It's because of the policies in both of the places. As far as the city are concerned, as far as bankruptcy, it's a state. But as far as the crime, you have the city rules. In Memphis, you're going to get a slap on the wrist. In Mississippi, however, you're going straight to the penitentiary if you commit a crime. So guys tend to not go Mississippi and commit a crime. They commit their crime right there in South Memphis, in Frazier, North Memphis, etc. They don't commit it in Mississippi because they know there's going to be a harsher penalty south of the border, right across. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's JB Scotchman out of Oklahoma. What's up, man?
Ain't too much, man. What's happening?
Oh, not a lot tonight. I thought I'd bring up something I don't think you talked about tonight yet about Texas Governor Abbott. Did you hear what he did today?
No, I didn't.
Well, he's pretty much had it with all the illegal immigrants coming in. So he signed a law today. You know, he made it totally in effect. He's got 900 buses waiting that when these illegal immigrants come in, they're going to send them straight to D.C.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I did. That's amazing. That's a fantastic thing to do. It's like, hey, if you guys want to keep letting them come into D.C., okay, that's fine. Let's bring them right to your doorstep. Bring them right to Adams, Morgan, Georgetown, and let you deal with them. How about that?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's an excellent idea. I mean, yeah, I don't know how it's going to work out or what's going to happen, but yeah, why not? I mean, because the people along the southern border, I mean, it's horrible for them. You know, I mean, why do they have to put up with all this, you know, crime and just, they can't support them, you know, they can't support the thousands of people that are just flowing in like nothing. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that story. I wasn't sure if you heard about it or not.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Have a good night, dude.
All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, I mean, that whole thing with the governor, that's fantastic. Yeah, send them to DC. Send them straight to the, like I said, send them to Adams, Morgan, Georgetown. Send them right there. Send them to send them straight to the Capitol. How about that? And let them deal with it over there. All right, so what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? You see that Ketanji Brown is going to get confirmed to the Supreme Court?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, man. You know, you got the usual Republicans: Mitt Romney, you know, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. Seems like they're all going to be yes votes. I know Mitt Romney confirmed is going to be a yes. And, you know, it's just, this is the problem, man. You know, you got these Republicans who get elected and they just give a huge middle finger to the people who voted him. And, you know, Mitt Romney knows the criticism he's getting from his own party. He knows the criticism he's getting from the constituents, but he doesn't care. It's like he does, and he's doing permanent harm. It's not like he's doing light things where it's things that don't matter. Like, if Trump is elected, he's going to impeach Trump. Permanent things. Middle finger, knowing like the majority of the Republicans, he's the most popular president. And they go in and they just stick the middle finger up to the Republican base. And it's just like, man, I keep reiterating this because, man, if no punishment happens, rhinos are just going to keep living in the Republican Party. And it's like, we know Ketanji Brown is going to be down for all the radical agendas. I'm pretty sure if there's a free speech issue, she's probably going to be against it. If it's if it's something against the Second Amendment, she's going to be against it. If it's something that deals with gender, some nonsense when it comes to, trans women entering women's space or whatever, she's probably going to be supportive of it. And it's like Mitt Romney, him being a Christian, it's almost as if that's just for show. It's almost when he talks about his religion, it's just to get the gullible religious people to vote for him. That man doesn't give a crap about it because none of his action stands on it. Because you gotta understand, bro, like what liberal principles aligns with anything religious? They don't even like family, bro. Liberals will tell you a man and a man is a family. Like they don't. It's like nothing that liberals stand for is family values. But yeah, you got Mitt Romney. I mean, I don't understand how these men are made, man. Like it's almost just to sell out to this extent. And like I said, not only him, you got Susan Collins as well. And it's like y'all don't even know the permanent damage that you're doing. But for them to smile and not care, obviously they don't fear punishment, man. So yeah, man, when it comes to midterms, like there's got to be an example made, man. He should be he should be more unpopular than Trump, to be honest with you. And Trump is typically hated just by the media. But yeah, man, it's just, I think about even when this clown, when Trump was even running for president, if you notice, Mitt Romney never attacked Hillary Clinton. Have you noticed that? No, yeah, no, Trump, Trump's going for Hillary. Have you ever noticed? Have you seen Mitt Romney attack Hillary Clinton one time?
I've never seen that before.
No. Why would he go and say, Mitt Romney's a typical quiet guy. But the loudest he's been was his vicious speech about Trump being silly and not becoming, a president. This was when Trump was running. And I'm just like, no, why would you do that as a Republican? It's like you see no problems with the Democrats, yet you only go after Trump. It's like I wouldn't even call them conservatives, man. I call them just corruptionists, man. It's like, bro, it's like they don't have the liberal mindset where the liberal is like our policies or else. When Amy Coney Barrett was running up for the Supreme Court, ain't none of these feminists was supporting her. I was like, F her. Democrats wasn't playing that sexist game with it. No, they was being hardcore. But you got stupid Mitt Romney coming out with a stupid quote, and I read it talking about the Republicans questioning her record on, whatever her cases was on child pornography was off base. But why would you say that? And it's like, Mitt, when are you ever going to say anything that Democrats do is off base? Like, it's so fake, bro. And I'm saying this because I hope Republicans understand that we got to stop voting for people just because they got an R next to them. Look at their record. Look at how they react on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We got to start looking deeper because, man, to me, what I fear is that let's say a Trump wins or a Ron DeSantis wins, right? We take over the House and the Senate. If you have these type of rhinos in the party, they're gonna be acting like Democrats and blocking and blocking and stopping legislation. So let's say if a Republican wants to vote to build a wall or something like that and close off the arch towards illegal immigration, you're gonna have these soft, tepid Republicans stopping it, man. So yeah, man, that's all I pretty much want to say, man. It's just we gotta keep focusing on the traitors because they are worse than the liberals. Take care, man.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Right on point. 100% on point. Couldn't have said it better than myself. Because, I mean, they always, these Lisa Murkowski's, Mitt Romney, they always vote for the opposing side. Always. It's like, okay, so what's the point in having them there if they're going to do that? It's the same thing as having a Democrat there. It's literally no difference. All right, let's go ahead and get to some more here. 401, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Nathan from Oregon.
All righty. Turn speakers down in the background for me, please.
I just did. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. What's happening?
Not much. I am wondering what your thoughts are on the Department of Education, actually.
That's kind of a broad question. I mean, I think that it probably shouldn't be there. I don't really see the good that it's doing.
Okay, yeah, because I think a lot of the stuff that's happening that we're seeing, mainly like people from older generations are catching on to it, but mostly younger people seem to be kind of more open to it, you know. And I just see like the Department of Education as something that gets hundreds of, I think, billions of dollars, and really we see like this decline in education since they've been collecting money, and they keep saying they need more money, and we don't really see a promotion of American ideals. Really, it's more like, you know, an ever increasing population of kids that think socialism will work and are kind of open to these radical ideas of the left. So yeah, I'm yeah. If you're on that same page, it sounds like it.
Well, absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Because I don't see, I like I say, I see the direction that we're going in, K through 12, and these teachers that are there. It's like, okay, well, what good is that department really doing? It's a waste, really.
Yeah, I mean, like what's happening in Florida with, you know, this like, oh, we're repressing free speech. I mean, when you're dealing with kids, it's, you know, you're kind of exploiting a vulnerable group. It's I think we should support free speech, but we also should understand when we're dealing with kids, it's like a different set of laws, I think. So, you know, in the Department of Education, I mean, I think I've seen a few things where they get 90% of the money going to administrative fees of these bureaucrats that basically run the schools, and 10% are even going to kids, and they're all, you know, in red tape. So, and who knows what they're kind of trying to direct with that money anyway. So, I did see some good news though. So I just was calling actually on that. I don't know if you saw that the California court ruled the state's racial and ethnic board diversity mandate was unconstitutional.
Oh, I didn't see that. Interesting.
Yeah, so which it is interesting when we see the president trying to call for, you know, a black woman to come on the Supreme Court. I thought that was really unsettling that it was race and gender that was the priority versus, you know, finding the most qualified person to sit on the court. But I mean, I think regardless of that, if the person's qualified or not, it's just a really weird way to present it. But it also seems to kind of be in the same pool of thought as this, like, you know, you need a certain number of, you know, whatever people on your board of your company. You know, it's like, I mean, if it's illegal now in California, even, it's so bizarre. So, I just think it's just a sign of the times, really. But yeah, I appreciate your show. I didn't know if you talked about that earlier, so I figured I'd call up. I came in late, but thanks for having me on. And peace.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And thank you all for being here yet again. If you like what you heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 919, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on? My name is Terrence Jones.
All righty, what's happening?
I just like to point out how the Hunter Biden story, when it first came out in, what was it, the 2020 election, The Democrats called it the Russian collusion, Russian all of that. Now that it's a true thing, or it's out there now, the Democrats are saying absolutely nothing about it now. Like, they're not even trying to deny it anymore. I was wondering what your thought process is on that.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. It's like they only talk about certain things that they think are going to help them, but then when it's going to hurt them or they think it might hurt them, they just totally ignore it. They have selective outrage. They've been doing that for a long time, which is why the media, is so terrible, because they don't give you honest information. They just give you whatever they think will help them the best. And they spin certain stories to help them. They don't tell you the full thing. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's all I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. They just they talk about certain things in the way it's going to help them. They answer questions in a certain way that's going to help them, and that's it. That's pretty much how they operate. You know, and that's why the media sucks so much. It's real simple, right? Okay, I got super chats. Not super chats yet. Still got a little bit of time here. Yeah, the narrative they want to push forward is really crazy. You know, they push forward their bias. Well, they lead with their bias to push forward their agenda. That's what that is. Patty L says, yes, ABL, allow homeless tent city to surround the White House for a while. Maybe some work will get done. It's something to get done then. Yeah, bring all the illegal aliens straight to Capitol Hill, right around the White House, and see what happens at that point. They don't want to have them in D.C., but they have no problem having them all over the country. Funny how that works. 863 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hang on, let me just pause this. Mute this real quick. So you're doing the Brexit episode or event this Saturday, correct?
Yes, in Tampa.
In Tampa?
Yep.
And where is that supposed to be out here?
Hold on. Let me get the flyer right quick. Let me just make sure I don't say the wrong thing.
Yeah, because I'm in Lakeland, so I'm only maybe 45 minutes away.
That'll be at the Ritz Ybor.
The Ritz Ybor. Okay. I don't know if you're aware or not, but Tampa also has a gun show that weekend at the fairgrounds.
Oh, really?
So if you were to take in
on what days?
I'm sorry. Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and the 10th.
So what time is it? Is the gun show?
They start at 9 o'clock, I do believe, on Saturday, and it runs until like 4 or 5.
I might have to pull up. Do you know where it's going to be?
Yeah, it's at the fairgrounds. If you jumped on MLK and head, let's see, east on MLK, right straight down to 301, you can't miss it.
Okay, I might
or
check
if you
it
get
out.
on I-4 and you head east on I-4 from Tampa area, you'll see it right there, right across the street from the casino.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna go hit the gun show up. What time's that Brexit event supposed to be happening?
That's going to be at 3:00. The doors open at 3:00, so it may be a little bit earlier than that, but definitely 3:00 is when the doors open.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, that gives plenty of time to hit that in the morning, and shoot on over and come see if I can come meet up with you.
That's right.
Awesome, man. Well, keep it up, man. I love your show, man. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Hopefully we'll see you up there. Yep.
Oh, will do. Absolutely.
All right, appreciate it, man. Later.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might have to go to the gun show. I can't buy anything. Well, I could buy something, but I don't want to have to go through the hassle with TSA. You know? Yeah, because the boating accident, exactly, Amanda. I got to restock because of the boating accident. It wiped me out. It wiped me clean, smooth out, so I got to restock. I think I can travel with guns, but you got to go through some stuff. I probably got to call the federales and be like, yo, I'm trying to, bring something from point A to point B. What can we do? But yeah, I think I may go. I may go to that because I'll be there that day. I'll be there the day before. I'll be there on Friday, so I may go to that gun show in the AM and then come back in time enough to get myself together for the Brexit event. Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. So yeah, shout out to y'all. If you are going to be in Tampa, that was a great, actually great way for me to exit. If you're going to be in Tampa on Saturday, this Saturday, April 9th, I will be at the Blexit event at the Ritz Ybor. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Doors open. A lot of good speakers there. I'm not going to be speaking. I'll just be there. I'll just be around. You'll see me. I'm one of them guys. I'm always everywhere. So I'll be there, and I may go to the gun show at the fairgrounds before that, because that's not until 3. And I'll be, like I said, I'll be there on Friday, so it's fine. Okay, NKM, I can have them shipped to a licensed gun dealer. There you go. That's perfect. And I got I already know my guys I can ship to right here in Tennessee. Good people already. They know who I am already. They know me, so that'd be a good thing to do. Very good point, NKM. Thank you for that. I'll most certainly do that. Bob K MIT says all you got to do is declare them. Okay, you got to declare them, but not in the carry-on. Okay, I got it. And no ammo. So what I probably got to do is buy a bag or bring another bag with me, because I normally don't do check bags. So I probably just got to bring it. Probably be in the case or something. Yeah, bring it in the case, declare it, all that. No ammo. Yeah, it won't be no ammo. My AR-15 can't drop, it gets triggered too much. All right. So yeah, shout out to Tampa. That's gonna be fun. I'll be doing more traveling this year. I'll be all over the place. You know, I'm always in Atlanta. Shout out to the ATLians. I'm always in Atlanta because I'm right here. I'm there like every week. So shout out to ATL. Probably go to Nashville some more. Back to VA, of course, to visit family. I'll be around. You'll see me a lot. Are they bagged or packaged? That's a good question. A hard gun case with a lock. Okay, so you guys are really telling me a lot. Hard gun case with a lock. Firearm must be travel checked. Ammo cannot travel. Got it. I think the best thing for me to do would be to just to have them ship it, because just to prevent all the extra stuff. Just ship it to my people. I already know where it's gonna go. I already got a relationship with them already. I think that'll probably be the best bet for me to go. That'll probably be the best way for me to go ahead and go about it, right? So let me get to another call here, actually. Call you online, I'm speaking to 720.
Hey, ABL, how are you this evening?
Oh, it's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. Just on the clock here. Drive a truck here at night. This is Jake from Denver. So I was calling about the guns, I guess. If you were to travel, and this is just a suggestion, I don't know if it's something that might be helpful, instead of going through the airlines and all that, let's see. Anytime I travel and I have too much stuff, I usually just FedEx things back. So I don't know if that would be an issue too, using FedEx or UPS, whatever you purchase at the gun show. So that's what I was chiming in on. I was like, well, instead of going through like TSA and having to declare all that stuff, not to go through customs or whatever, it's like, why not just, use a FedEx or UPS? I don't know. I don't know what you think about that.
I mean, that's probably what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's been a while since I called in, so I just want to say what's up. Say what's up to everybody. Happy Wednesday night. Missed you on Saturday. And just love your show, man. So hopefully I'll talk to you soon. And love the topics always covered on the show. And happy Saturday, or Wednesday to everybody. So thanks.
Thank you for the call. No problem.
Yes, sir. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. So yeah, I probably would just have them ship it. That'll probably be the best way, because it ain't that far. Just from Florida to Tennessee. Yeah, just do that, and then that'll be it. Say buy a new box of ammo and send a gun and the ammo. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Yep. Just do it there, and then so and by convenience it'll be there, because I still got some more stuff to do even when I get back. So I can't necessarily go straight back to the house anyway. Rather than having the gun just in the truck, I can have that already shipped in at my doorstep when I get back, in a nice safe place, nice safe environment. So yeah, shout out to Tennessee, shout out to Florida, shout out to Georgia, all the places in between, and everybody all over. It's gonna be fun. Now, a lot of you guys said I should go to other places. A lot of you guys said Vegas. A lot of you guys said Chicago, New York, LA. I hate it. When I was in LA last time, it was a bad impression. You know, they say the first impression a lot of times is a lasting impression. When I was in LA, it was cold and rainy. I was like, man, this ain't Southern California. It never rains. Tony talked about this is New York City. It looked like, you know what I mean, kind of ghetto. It was a whole lot going on. I didn't like that too tough. Not at all. 216 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 216. Hello.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. This is my second time tuning into your show, man. I think you're an awesome content creator, man. My name is the Chaotic Truth, by the way. I wanted to broach one of your topics. Is that cool?
Go for it.
So I did a video about the Black Lives Matter fiasco, and you know I'm utterly appalled by it, man. The fact that there's no audits on Black Lives Matter, the fact that there's no transparency with funding, and the fact that, people like myself, I get called a coon and Uncle Tom and Uncle Ruckus for the videos that I make about Patrice Cullors and this terroristic organization that caused, over $1 billion in property damage. And that for the most part has done nothing but promote lesbianism, etc. But I'm so glad that platforms like you, are to the point where, you can broach it at a high level. What say you, sir?
Well, there was a lot there. What's your specific question?
So my specific question is that what do you think should be done with Black Lives Matter in terms of with the financial aspect? Like what type of I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, basically, now as far as what the oversight, I mean, I'm not sure what you can do from a governmental level or from a legislative level. I don't really know. I think that just with any other company, you got to be able to see where the money goes, if it's being used appropriately or inappropriately. And I think they're under investigation right now, or at least Patrice Cullors, one of the co-founders, is under investigation because the allegation is that donation money was used to buy some property. And that's not what it's supposed to be for. They're trying to talk about, it's a content house, but there's been no content created there except for like one video. So they're kind of like being squirmy with the laws, and that's probably not going to go over too well with the feds.
Yeah. $6 million, man. But thank you, Anthony. Hey, can I ask you a question? Do you mind if I, shout my channel out, or you don't do that?
Go for it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. My channel is the Chaotic Truth Live, and it's a conservative platform. And, I do a lot of Black Lives Matter, exposing episodes on my channel as well, man. But thank you, Anthony, man. You're an awesome content creator, and thank you for letting me ask you a question and promote my channel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to the caller. That'll be a wrap for me. Thank you all for being here. Couldn't do it without y'all. I'll be back. I should be back again Saturday, but I probably won't have any callers. I probably would just go live for a while, like from a hotel room on my phone or something like that. We'll figure it out, but I will see you guys again. Definitely. I'll put out videos tomorrow, Friday, most likely, and Saturday if I have time. So yeah, that'll be a wrap for me tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Couldn't do it without y'all. What else I got? Oh, shout out to all the people that have watched, liked the video, super chatted, Cash App, PayPal, whatever you do. Thank you. I couldn't do any of this without y'all. Without y'all, there is no me. So thank you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. The trolls want to be trolling, and that's okay. We got the mods for them hind parts. Okay, we have some supers here. We're going to get to those and then wrap it on up, put the bowl clean, smooth on top. Let's go to, hold on one second. Let me see where I left off. Thank you to Silas, who says student loans are a key goal. Already read that one. Thank you to, Thank you to Brackish Baz, who says Democrats don't need a pass for fixing the mess they created. The baseline was in 2019, and if they want credit, the numbers need to exceed 2019. Thank you to Kathy Carver, who says Google, Epstein Island, Walt Disney logo, both fed off our children. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says 3 BLM wingnuts getting rich and getting paid off of George Floyd's death, and leftist Democrats want him to be cool with it. Exactly crazy. Thank you to Boomhauer, Boomhauer, who says 3 transgenders walk into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, it's ladies' night. Thank you to Love Live Serve, who says, ABL, are you catching on to Tariq's FBA movement? The guy is a talented grifter for sure. He realized Dr. Umar got the Pan-African grift on lock, so he took the other side. Smart tactic. Yeah. Umar, Tariq, they old school guys doing this. They've been doing this for a long time. They're so old school, they don't even use YouTube properly. It's crazy, but whatever. Shout out to Boat vs. Windshield, who says, sorry, late. So the Biden regime is now giving smartphones to illegal aliens when they release them. Also, Texas is busing aliens to D.C. now. I saw that, of course. They get the Boat vs. Windshield again, who says, we have to give Ketanji Brown Jackson some slack for not being able to define a woman. I just wonder how she can speak English if she's not a linguist. Thank you to Vincent Williams, who says, keep up the good work, ABL. Peace to San Francisco. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Well, that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back probably on Saturday Live. You'll see me. I'll be doing something on Saturday. Y'all see. And if you're coming out to the Blexit event or the gun show, hope to see you there. You'll be able to spot me out. I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6'3", and you'll see me. You will see me. So run up on me. It's all good. Say hello. Take a picture. It's all good. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.